Welcome. There we go. Welcome to this week's episode of Politically Correcting Podcast with me, the Jose Pio, along with my co-host Lavelle Lewis.
Gia.
Austin on the ones and twos.
Oh, hello.
We are your weekly dose of common sense, and let's all say it together now, your girl's favorite threesome. That was everybody at home that was doing it with me.
Yeah. Favorite threesome.
Threesome. Yeah. Let's toast to our ability to share a drink with friends, have open and honest dialogue. Damn.
Sorry.
And always strive to walk away still being friends. Salud.
Salud.
My Kool-Aid.
Whoa.
Hold on, I'm pouring. Hold on, wait.
Now
hold on, wait. Yeah, hold on.
Yep.
Yeah, wait. Hold on.
Boom.
Yeah, hold on, wait.
Now half the audience has to go use the bathroom.
Yeah, hold on, wait.
This is gin and juice.
Wait, hold on.
Rolling down the street.
You're not going to have all that.
Hold on, wait.
Jeez Louise.
Sipping on gin.
What?
You got to see what this big burly man is freaking
Laid
drinking
back.
and drinking out of.
You talking about my shot glass? I got it from Ireland.
Ooh, that looks very Irish.
That looks like something your grandpa would be proud of.
Oh, yeah.
Paying
That's
paying
actually really
respects to your ancestry.
Yeah. Got a hard cider from Shoots Apple Mill in Webster.
Is it shoots or shuts?
I say Shoots.
Okay, so you're wrong. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Let's start the podcast off right, besides what you just did to all of our listeners there. With our video.
Well, he mentioned Irish, right?
Uh-huh.
That's like an old Irish mug, right?
This is a pewter mug.
No, that's not
I
Irish.
actually just got. I was just making a joke about it being a shot
Oh.
glass from Ireland.
Okay.
You
He didn't catch that.
Yeah, you see, it's actually quite large,
Couple
much
like,
bigger than a
got
usual
you.
shot glass.
Got you.
That's the joke.
Hence.
But
the
it
humor.
is just it's a pewter mug.
It's a perfect
It
gin and shot
identifies as a shot glass.
Exactly.
Much
Yeah.
like this video of the week with identification of oneself.
I understand that people will obviously
Hold
they're
on.
going to react, but it's the fact that you say you identify as,
what the cultures and the person self.
but you understand that race and color is much more than skin deep. It's heritage and
absolutely.
pedigree and tradition and history and struggle. It's all of those things that you
Struggle.
can't hope to get anywhere near with 3 tanning injections.
No, but also the all these steps, also having black curly hairs and going to change also my nose to really African version, also more wider here,
You're
and
having further surgery.
and also have and also have butt implants. Like also,
Butt
I like the
implants.
curves of black women, and I want to get them step by step. But also, I have going to Africa in different countries. Also, I have the most invitings for Kenya. That will be my first step to meet the people in person and learn more about the histories. But I know Africa has a lot of different states, and I have a lot of fans and friends all over Africa. I'm going step by step, visit different countries to learn more about the culture and to find which of these countries is matching most to mine, to myself.
Okay.
All right,
Right,
Martina.
it's
So that's a white woman who identifies as a black woman. And she is going to Africa to find out which country she feels as if she is most originally from. Now, that tan that she had was tan injections. For the folks who listen into our podcast, I don't think people realize how many people actually listen. And that was, to me, quite disturbing. But at the same time, that made more sense than the other trans folks. Like, I feel like transracial is actually makes more sense because it really is a spectrum of color, right? Because that's how we are viewed in our race. It's black and brown, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Do you accept her? Do you accept her into your peoples?
Not quite. She looks like that turd emoji.
Yeah,
put
she did.
something next to the
Yeah, she
turd
did.
emoji, she would pass for a turd,
Mm.
but not black people.
Oh my god.
Where is she from? Where was that pulled from? Was that like Australia or?
I honestly didn't dig too deep into that video because it was so
Mm.
absurd that I
Yeah.
was like, I'm just gonna let this speak for itself at this point.
Yeah. The ridiculousness. We could be talking about so many other things other than mental health right there. You see her boobs. Her boobs is completely exaggerated.
And that's not her first boob job.
I
She's
could
had
tell.
multiple boob jobs.
I can tell. She probably needs to go to like, I don't know, keep them injected like monthly or some shit.
Well, next is the butt. Remember, because she likes
Yes,
she
it's
likes
the
the
butt.
the butts
The
of a black
curve.
woman.
The curves of a black woman.
Yeah.
And she said she knows the states in Africa. But then she corrected herself. Countries. I hope she's an actress. I hope she's an actress, and now it's just blackface.
No,
just to piss people off.
She's been on that show before. They showed her like before, and she was less tan and smaller boobs.
You know, can I say though, like those kind of shows, like I assume that's like a very like conservative show.
Yeah, probably. It's probably like one of those. Oh man, what's his name?
Like
the British guy.
Like I noticed on like Tucker Carlson,
Mhm.
you would have like the same like lady on, who was like the liberal,
Mhm.
with like
Oh,
the
yeah.
big buggy eyes. She always looks like really crazy,
Yeah.
and I was like, is she actually like a liberal, or did Tucker Carlson just like, oh, you look crazy, act liberal, like
You
come
think it's
on,
fake news?
a little bit,
Okay.
like it seems performative.
Okay. A caricature of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
makes
what
sense.
CNN does too. Like any.
I think they all do.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
all do it.
They all do.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
MSNBC like big time.
It's like those shows when they go out on the streets and ask people like, really stupid, really easy questions. Like, what's the capital of United States? And they're like, Albany, stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Usually like Gen Z stuff. I'm sure they only choose the most elaborate caricature of the Gen Z to show.
Yes.
I'm sure there was some Gen Z who actually knew the answer.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Right. Not JFK. RFK has got himself in a little bit of heat this week. He had a video that surfaced. I want to get your point of view on the video. We probably have to turn everyone out there, turn your audio up a little bit because, Robert F. Kennedy is very hard to listen to. That's the sad part about it. He's never going to be president. I think one of the main reasons is because his
frog in his throat.
It's unfortunate, but it is the way it is.
What was the reason though?
Right here, we're about to watch the video, and then I want you to, what you hear from that, I want you to give me insights on what you think the news said about him.
And we need to talk about bioweapons. I know a lot now about bioweapons because I've been doing a book on it for the past 2.5 years, and the technology that we now have to develop these microbes, we've put hundreds of millions of dollars into ethnically targeted microbes. The Chinese have done the same thing. In fact, COVID-19, there's an argument that it is ethnically targeted. COVID-19 attacked certain races disproportionately. The races that are most immune to COVID-19 are because of the structure of the genetic structure of genetic differentials among different races of the receptors of the ACE2 receptor. COVID-19 is targeted to attack Caucasians and Black people. The people who are most immune are Ashkenazi Jews and Chinese. But we don't know whether it was deliberately targeted that or not. But there are papers out there that show the racial and ethnic differential and impact to that. We do know that the Chinese are spending hundreds of millions of dollars developing ethnic bioweapons, and we are developing ethnic bioweapons. That's what all those labs in the Ukraine are about. They're collecting Russian DNA, they're collecting Chinese DNA, so we can target people by race.
What part of that do you think the media focused on to try to cancel him?
The white people and Black people part. Or the Ashkenazi Jew part as well.
What part of that do you think they targeted him for that? Like, what did he say that was wrong about that?
Well, the fact that they're immune to it.
Mm-hmm.
The Ashkenazi Zionist Jew, let's like be clear who they are. People don't really know the history of the Ashkenazi or the Khazarian race, the people
They say that it's not true.
Oh, they can say all they want, but if you look into and you research how the Zionist Jews became who they are, because there's so many different levels within that religion that people just don't know. They just look at Israel and see the Star of David on the flag, and then that's it. That's all they need to know as far as the history of the Jewish faith. But they don't know that a lot of Orthodox Jews who are more aligned with the biblical sense of who they are, they don't attach themselves to a specific race. They attach themselves as to the religion because they are there to protect the religion, not the actual race. So he should just say that, they're Russian. That's mostly where they're coming from, the northern part of Europe. But anyway, I'm pretty sure that's kind of where it got sticky and hairy for him.
Want to show the articles the 2 articles that we have there that talk specifically about what he said. So we got obviously the White House calls anti-Semitic COVID conspiracy theory voiced by RFK Jr. vile.
How is it anti? I can't.
The next one, or the one next to it, says Robert Kennedy Jr.'s racist, anti-Semitic, and xenophobic views go back decades. Democratic candidates' recent false claim that COVID could have been ethnically targeted is not an aberration, but fits long pattern.
God forbid anybody says anything about, that Jew, like the Orthodox Jew, the ones who are in the trenches with the hats, with the curly, those Jews they're not screaming this anti-Semitic. The ones that are, and this is coming from the Netanyahu's of the world, if you look at those leaders over there, they're the ones who have control over this type of stuff. And the Guardian is definitely notorious for screaming anybody that says anything against what their agenda is.
We have a couple Guardian articles tonight. Yeah. A couple of them. I like to use them because they can be very left-leaning.
Oh, very.
But
can be.
Yeah.
I think they are.
So I dug deeper, all right, because I had no idea what the Ashkenazi Jewish people were, and whether or not it had anything to do with COVID or anything like that. Well, the Medicine Journal came out back in 2020, soon after COVID came out. This is that right there. This is how far deep I go into, looking up for you guys. The highlighted area for what they found was Amish and Ashkenazi Jewish populations do not appear to carry such variants in ACE2 coding regions. Everything he said, in the background, it says coronavirus disease caused by severe acute respiratory has now been confirmed worldwide, yet COVID-19 is strangely and tragically selective. Morbidity and mortality due to COVID-19 rise dramatically with age and coexisting health conditions, including cancer and cardiovascular diseases. Human genetic factors may contribute to the extremely high transmissibility of SARS-CoV-2 and to the relentlessly progressive disease observed in a small but significant proportion of infected individuals, but these factors are largely unknown. This is a medicine article here. It's been cited multiple times, 236 times. This was, again, back in 2020. So this is widely known that COVID does hit certain groups of people more than others. I think that's a pretty accurate statement. Of course, I can see right now that YouTube's going to cancel us immediately based on that.
They shouldn't.
It's facts. It is facts. But you see how they went after him when it literally says Amish and Ashkenazi Jewish populations do not appear to carry such variants. Like they're talking about the Latinos are good with it. The East Asians and South Asian populations is between 2 to 10%. Like you can read it yourself. This is in the bmcmedicine.biomedcentral.com. new insights into genetic susceptibility of COVID-19. Look it up yourself, people.
Look it up yourself.
Stop looking at these article headings and automatically just saying someone's anti-Semitic, someone's xenophobic, someone's racist. So, because I saw it and I'm like, what did he say? Because obviously it says that, he stated that it was ethnically targeted. I'm like, what the heck? Like, Robert Kennedy Jr. has said some weird stuff before, but why would he say anything about it being ethnically targeted? And so research for not a very long time to be able to find that
listen, man,
medicinal article there.
I don't want us to get canceled, right? Because that saying, or they say, if you like, when you can't criticize someone, that's how you know who's in control.
Right.
And we can look into the patents that came out for COVID vaccines in Israel, who is one of the leading countries in vaccine creation. They already had the patent for the COVID vaccine ready to go when all this was going down.
Allegedly.
Thank you. But again, I'm glad he went and said Ashkenazi Jew, because it again, when you dig deeper into that name, and then you look into the Khazarian race, the nation that this regime was very, very heavy in conquering and controlling. Their overall agenda was to control the world. And there's a lot.
I don't know. I didn't read any of that. I didn't see any of that. I looked into it myself because I did not know what Ashkenazi
right. But did you go further and see that they are the Khazarian
what
race?
What I saw was that was a far right talking point. What I saw was they were from Eastern Europe, that they were from Germany as well. Jewish people from Germany,
mostly Russia.
Also from Russia, yes. I also saw that another conspiracy was that Russia was invading Ukraine because of their views on the Ashkenazi Jewish people. Did I say that correctly? Hopefully. So I read a bunch of articles about it. I did not see anything that read about Zionist anything, because I'm not. That's the thing. I think that's one rabbit hole that.
But that's who they are. Period. There is no.
You can believe that.
No, there's no belief. I have it right here. I can read it to you right now.
Read what?
I can read it to you where, again, the connection from the Khazarian Empire, that nomadic race that conquered Eastern Europe. And they're all about conquering and controlling, and they are all about world dominance.
Yeah, but just because they were doesn't mean that they are.
But then again, that shifted into the Khazarian nation, because again, how can the best way to cover up what you are is to change your name, to be like a chameleon, right? So again, the Khazarian were semi-nomadic Turkic people in the late 6th century, established a major commercial empire covering southern eastern section of modern European Russia, southern Ukraine, Crimea, and Kazakhstan, right?
Okay.
So these same countries are in play.
I think most people can agree with that if they do a little research.
All right. So where the Khazars disappeared after the fall of the empire is subject to many conjectures. Proposals have been made regarding the possibility of Khazars factor in the ethnogenesis of numerous people such as Hazars, Hungarians, all these other Ukraine, Muslims, all these other different ones. But this is where they come. The late 19th century saw the emergence of theory that the core of today's Ashkenazi Jew are descendants from the hypothetical Khazarian Jewish this diaspora.
Where's this article from?
This is Wikipedia.
Well, you can't quote Wikipedia.
Oh, now you can't quote Wikipedia. But again, you go and you pull that up. You start with the Khazars.
I think the people out there should.
You should.
I think Austin already you already started because you're looking at
yeah.
You got that look to you. You got that.
Start with the Khazars.
I'm reading the same.
Go to the Ashkenazi Jew, and then also the Ashkenazi Jew then turned into the Zionist Jews, right? And the Zionist religion itself is about as
allegedly
as modern as the actual state of Israel itself.
I don't know. I find it very hard to go down the Zionist route.
You should. I think you should, and it makes a lot of sense. And they're in the Rothschilds also have that bloodline as well.
I'm not against going down the Rothschild rabbit hole,
but they're considered to be Ashkenazi.
What does bloodlines have to do with anything?
Well, it has to do with who's in control and conquering, and they were always in power. They were always in controlling. They didn't just fall off the map and then all of a sudden lose their power and control.
Yeah, but
over
they
that
weren't
region.
conquering. The family that you just brought up were not conquering. They funded it.
Yeah, what do you think they're?
I'm just saying.
Who finances most of these wars? It's always the leader of the coin, the person who has the coin. So they are the ones that's creating these.
Are you talking like actual coins, like 6th century coins? Like they're still
money.
rocking
They're still-
You got
still
something
in
else
control of the
inside of you
money.
there. I can see the liberal mind.
Yeah, I
moving.
don't know. This is some crazy like Mel Gibson shit.
This
going
doesn't
on
have
over
to be,
here.
This
but
went
there's-
down the Mel Gibson route.
It's okay.
You
It
sound like
can.
Henry Ford. Like
That's all right. It's all right. I've looked into this a long time ago, and I went down those rabbit holes.
Were these books from a long time ago? Were these like
No,
like
it's
the
actually
1920s
no.
when,
That's not. It's not just books, but also other, historians and people who continue these stories. People don't even know literally the overall difference between the Zionist Jew and the Orthodox Jew. And you
I don't
listen.
think they call them the Zionist Jew.
Yes, they are. They do call themselves Zionists.
I don't think
I don't think they do at all.
They are
I think there's
Zionists.
only one group that calls them that.
No, that's fun. No, they call themselves Zionists.
I don't think so.
I don't.
Look it up.
I think the listeners here,
Look it up. That's
if
fine.
you believe what Lavelle is saying right now,
Look up
please
Zionist
give me
Jew.
some education. Send me some links to look up. Send me some
Zionism-
videos.
Listen, look up Joe Biden said, I think we're all Zionists.
Yeah, I'm not gonna look that up.
Oh, go ahead. It's on YouTube.
That doesn't
still.
even make sense.
Joe Biden
does that
said, I
mean?
think we're all Zionists.
Okay.
Joe Biden says
Well,
a lot
then-
of things that
Yeah, that doesn't. Okay,
I'm
if we're
just
all
letting you
Zionists,
know.
then no one's a Zionist. you
Right.
know?
Well, again, these are the people that are working for those who are in control. The state of Israel.
you're making me press that button a lot. If we're gonna get a freaking
Go ahead. Look it up. This is something that even on YouTube you can
dear
find.
YouTube,
Zionist
we're not saying we
Jews,
believe in Zionists.
That's what they even
This
they even
gentleman
push and
says
preach it.
Zionists.
Benjamin
I don't know.
Netanyahu talks about the Zionist Jew and
Send me the links.
Zionism.
Send me the links.
All right.
If you believe it,
All right.
if you want to go down the rabbit hole and show me this,
It's something that you shouldn't be afraid to say or even talk about, but that goes
are you
to
kidding me? Have you
that
seen how many
goes
people have
to-
been canceled because of it?
but again, that goes to show if you really want to take it to the person that's in control,
Uh-huh.
you tell them the truth of what you know. Don't be afraid. to
Yeah, but
speak
that would be the
speak
same
your
way.
mind.
Like if I were Jew and I didn't like that, I feel as if it'd be equivalent of a black or let's say a Latino, and you were to say, oh, the spick Latinos. Like I feel as though that would be the same way, and so it'd be a pretty good reason to kind of say, yeah, you shouldn't say things like that, and maybe you should go take a break somewhere else.
Look up the
So-
definition of Zionist.
I'm,
Look up the definition. It's nothing anti-Semitic. It's an actual
but everyone that says it
ideology.
gets
Yes.
called an anti-Semite.
Yes, and that's the play. That is the
So,
play.
but if you can look it up and there's a definition for it, and it's not that, and it's not.
have you ever
crazy.
heard of this rabbi named Yaakov Shapiro?
No.
That's a very good person to follow. I follow and listen to him all of the time, and he talks directly about the Zionist Jew and Zionism.
Is he the Uncle Tom of Jewish people?
No, he is literally one of the top leading rabbis in New York City,
Okay.
and also goes to Israel multiple times, and he protests against Benjamin Netanyahu because he does not believe in the overall state of Israel, because again, he believes in the religion.
Okay.
We're giving a religion. His people, his ancestry.
That's not accurate either.
His religion.
They were not given a religion. They decided upon themselves that they are the religion.
Listen to the rabbi.
I don't
He
think
said they were
Jesus
given-
never came to bring a religion.
Your conflict with
My
them is
Jesus.
going to be your right. That's within your religion. But
Right.
what they believe is that they were
They believe
given,
the Torah.
yes, and they were given
Which
the
is
religion
part
by
of the Bible.
God. They were given the religion by God to protect that religion. That's what they believe. That's what they follow. But Zionism and Zionists, they go off the Talmud. They think they study off of a different form of that religion, which a lot of folks believe it's perverted based off of the way that, number one, They don't wear yarmulkes when they're supposed to, right? You look at Benjamin Netanyahu, and he talks about him all of the time. Yaakov Shapiro, I'm telling you, look him up, follow him.
Send me some videos.
I will definitely send you some. He came
if you believe as well, send me the links as well, because I see Austin's face, and I'm in the middle here. I'm more of like, it's not that I don't believe you, but I'm gonna go ahead and say I've never been down this rabbit hole because I'm just, I don't know. It might be too far for me.
So
it's like the flat earth thing. It's too far for me.
So I did look up the definition of Zionism.
Okay, go ahead. Tell us what that definition is.
It's like a very specific movement from like the 1890s to form an independent nation in Palestine, which became Israel. Okay.
Became Israel. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
It's not bad. That has nothing to do with taking over the world, though.
No.
What do you think?
It's like a very small, like specific thing.
And it's not a small specific thing, because the first president and leader of Israel was a Zionist. Every single leader of Israel from that point has been a Zionist, and they all follow
because they're in Israel.
No. But again, within just the religion.
Maybe they call any political leader in Puerto Rico someone who wants to escape being part of America, because a lot of them are like, well, we don't want part of it. We just want the benefits of it.
Yeah. Well, you guys keep digging up. I'll send you all you need to.
I'm not gonna dig it all. You have to show me.
I will.
You gotta send me this stuff.
I will.
I'm sure someone else out there has it.
Don't send it to the group chat. You can send it to me. I'm all set.
Well, I know you don't really care. So Theodore Herzl, right? He's considered the godfather, the father of the actual Zionism.
I will look into that.
I will definitely send it to you.
I'm not sure how far I will go with it, because I really don't want to die.
If you convince Jose, then I'll look at it.
That's a pretty good hurdle right there. That's a decent hurdle.
I don't know if there's nothing to convince. There's absolutely nothing to convince.
The only Zionist I believe in is from the Matrix. That's the only Zionist I believe, because they're protecting Zion.
I get it.
Thank you.
That was good.
Because you're pop culture.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the majority of the people that follow that
pop culture
religion today are considered Zionists. And Theodore Herzl, look, that's one guy. He's considered the godfather of the religion. So
cool. All right, I'll take a gander.
All right,
I'll take a gander.
You'll love it.
I want you to listen to these lyrics and tell me your thoughts. As again, a black man. I'm starting with all the race stuff here. All right,
good.
For you, it's all about you. This first half hour.
If it's gonna be about black people, we talk about black people. I'm gonna talk about Jews, Zionism, all that stuff too. I'm giving it right back. You ain't just gonna keep the focus on one group every fucking time and think that we ain't throwing nothing back. Because again, if somebody black were to say something about them, and again, we talk about anti-Semitic, right? That's what got Kanye in trouble, right? But
if we can get Kanye in trouble and send him into freaking I
don't have Kanye.
A whirlpool of let me get away from all of this, I'm terrified of what it would do to me.
What will it do? What can they do?
Kanye is a billionaire.
They can't do nothing.
Okay. All right.
You don't pose a threat to influence a lot of people to the truth.
Listen, if I got $1 billion and I still can't say what I want to say, that's a problem.
Mm-hmm. Did you buy your Powerball ticket?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
I will. Well,
I mean,
I'm not big on this freaking putting money into the tax system like that. I'm not big on it, but
I mean, it's $1 billion.
At that point, you gotta.
Yeah. You know, now that you've said that, like if I had $1 billion, now you gotta buy one and see if
or you would end up with $220,000 or $220,000 after New York State, and Biden takes his money out.
The universe has to know, like, if you had $1 billion, this is what you do. Okay, here you go.
Maybe that's a lucky strike right there.
Yeah.
All right, cool. We should get one as a group right here.
Yeah.
Everyone put in your $1. No, it's $2. Everyone put in your $2, and we'll get a ticket that has 3 numbers.
Let me before we leave this, I'm gonna read you one more thing. Want to get us I'm gonna read you one last thing. Okay, Theodore Herzl. Okay, he was considered the father of Zionism. Okay, now
by who?
By himself and everybody that followed, but everybody that followed him within that movement. It is a legit political movement. Please, it could be. I mean, now that's you. Now that's you calling the cult.
Hey,
you said
I'm down with cults.
Not me.
I'm down with cults.
But okay, listen. Theodore Herzl was born in Germany, a street in
that makes him an Ashkenazi Jew, right?
Listen, hold on.
He was born in Hungary.
Hold on. This is from his own words. Okay, a street in the Jewish quarter of Pest, whatever, Kingdom of Hungary, to a Jewish family. He was the second child of Jeanette and Jacob Herzl, who was German-speaking assimilated Jews. Herzl stated he was of both Ashkenazi and Sarphatic lineage. Okay. Now, again, going back to what I said, this is what they believe, and this is also the conversation within that bloodline of Ashkenazi and Khazarian. So again, starting from there,
Okay.
Zionism and what it is, it's connected to, again, Ashkenazi, and again, Ashkenazi comes from the Khazarian race.
I feel like that was a jump there. I don't know.
It's not a jump. It's not a jump,
jump.
but again,
Well,
I've
here we
been
go.
down
We're
that rabbit
jumping.
hole, so
Yeah.
we can go.
Big jumps.
That was a
It's
huge
not
jump.
good.
Yeah.
Y'all figure it out.
I can't make those jumps.
Because you're white.
Yeah, white man can't jump.
You'll
Nailed it.
figure it out. You'll figure it out.
Listen to these lyrics and tell me your thoughts as a black man. I'm talking to Austin. Sucker punch somebody on a sidewalk, carjack an old lady at a red light, pull a gun on the owner of a liquor store. You think it's cool? Well, act a fool if you like. Cuss out a cop, spit in his face, stomp on a flag and light it up. Yeah, you think you're tough? Well, try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road. Around here, we take care of our own. You cross that line, it won't take long for you to find out. I recommend you don't. Try that in a small town. Got a gun that my granddad gave me. They say one day they're gonna round up. Well, that shit might fly in a city. Good luck. Try that in a small town. Do you think any of that is racist towards you or promoting lynching?
I mean, I don't know. I need to hear the full song.
Oh, we can't do that. We almost got a podcast blocked for the what's that crazy Japanese whatever that video that we put a couple weeks ago.
Wait, we played a Japanese video?
Yeah, we played a what the heck you call that? The cartoons that they do.
Anime?
Yeah, we played an anime video.
You did?
And we had a freaking thing bug. They said, "Oh, you can't play this because they own the rights to this." I'm like, it was on YouTube.
What?
Yeah, so we can't play that video, I'm sure. But this is Jason Aldean's music video, which just got pulled from the country music. What's television? CMT.
Okay.
Because of backlash that it, quote unquote, promotes violence. So.
What's the difference between any rapper that's rapping right
That's exactly my point. The entire hip hop music industry promotes violence. You're not seen as a rapper, a true rapper, unless you're talking about guns, drugs, bitches, and violence.
What
Also,
did Kanye say? Who runs the music industry?
I'm not going to answer that.
Oh, all right. You let me know. When we can talk
Herzog
about
or whatever his last name was.
Herzog.
Yeah, Werner
Herzog.
Herzog.
Yeah, him.
Yeah.
Herzog. Yeah. It's not a freaking secret. And again, anytime,
yeah.
anytime something like this comes up, the same group screams foul and try to manipulate the conversation to either protect themselves and distract and send it to somewhere else. And the overall target right now is any conservative, any rural, anybody that has the thought of being free,
The audacity
to be free.
Yeah.
Except for them, though,
Yeah.
it's okay.
Have you seen the music video?
No.
So the entire music video displays the violence that the media and all the politicians claimed was mostly peaceful. Right. So that gives you insight into what was shown throughout the entire music video of try that in a small town. Basically, just think of what happened in the Summer of Love. Try that in a small town. Right.
So he was going after gay people?
So
I don't know.
The only and I can tell you, I watched it and I analyzed like every screen that they put in the music video, every video that they inserted into it. The only faces that you can literally pick somebody's race out and say, "Oh yeah, that's definitely that." The only faces that were shown were white people. Watch the music video. And trust me, the only faces you can clearly see as you can say to a police officer, his race is this. Every other clip of that may contain a person of color, they had a mask on. They had on, mask on. You could see like this much. Which, of course, at that point, you could say, well, you don't know it was a person of color. It could have been a white person that spray painted. Who the hell knows? Either way, watch the music video, Jason Aldean, because I believe
Dixie Chicks.
I don't believe his response, because his response to the obvious hypocrisy, he states, in the past 24 hours, I have been accused of releasing a pro-lynching song and was subject to the comparison that I, direct quote, was not too pleased with the nationwide BLM protests, wrote on Twitter. These references are not only meritless, but dangerous. There's not a single lyric in the song that references race or points to it. Now, again, I've seen the music video. I mean, he's kind of, he was obviously he was talking about the BLM protests. It was guaranteed. I mean, that's all that was on it. But
and he has that right, though.
Yeah, exactly. My thing is, there's only two options as a music industry that you have at this point. You either, number one, allow everyone to talk about violence, everybody, including the rap culture, right? Or number two, you start taking down videos that talk about violence. So that means every video on BET, VH1, MTV, anything that has to do with violence, take it down.
And
you got to fight for your right to party. Take it down.
Barbara said the only thing they hung in the video was American flag. Now that was kind of close to being a shot at black people. That's the only thing they like. I see where you're coming from, but
I thought that was going somewhere way different. We're gonna say
that was going down a different road.
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, yeah.
You seen the video?
No, I haven't seen the video.
Okay,
I think I've heard the song though.
Okay, you heard the song.
You know,
how am I the only? I don't even like country music.
Jose,
how am I the only one that's seen this music video?
Yo, you go down.
Videos? I love music videos. I can stay up literally all night watching music videos.
Yeah, my mom's a big
all night
music videos. Like I thought music videos
so it's
were
like an
dead.
old person thing.
No,
it is an old person.
It's still on and popping. Videos are still a shit.
No, not like they used to be.
I don't know.
We're talking about P. Diddy that was putting $1 million into a music video.
I love Travis Scott's videos, even though they're demonic.
No, I don't like anything about Travis Scott's
I love his videos.
Nah, bro.
You know what I mean? He takes you on a whole nother astro plane. But you know what? One of my good friends, shout out to my boy LaRon.
Singletary?
No, Buchanan. We were having a conversation about race and races. He's like, yo, who cares if you have pride with who you are and your color and your race? Who cares? Like, I would want you to be, proud of your race and who you are and your identity. Why should you shy away from that? You know what I mean? And who knows? This guy may have like 5% black in him. Like, he's down in the South. Who knows, man? Like, like they were mixing, mingling nonstop down back in the day. So
I think it goes back to the original thing that I said. There's only two options. Either everybody be proud of the race that you were born into and you had no choice to, or no one can be proud of it.
Yeah. You know what?
Pick one, because that's the problem, is that you can be brown pride, you can have black pride, but you're not allowed to have white pride. To me, that's hypocrisy.
It is, because they're trying to separate us from the country. They're trying to make us identify with a group so that we don't consider ourselves patriotic.
But they're going to say this is automatically supporting white supremacy.
Yes,
and I'm sitting here saying
the agenda. That's the goal.
But I'm just saying, look, if I can say brown pride, which I hate the word brown. If I could say brown pride, if I could say Latino pride, if I could say that and be proud of something,
no one's stopping Latinos
and be proud of the only thing that I could be proud of is the fact that I just happen to be born
Latinx.
Yes. With this body. But again, that separates the fact that my spirit, and I believe in a spirit, unlike our, buddy over there, my spirit resides in this body. I don't need to be proud of this body. I can be a tall black man. I could be a short Puerto Rican. I could be a big bearded with a Jew-fro white guy.
Oh, you stood in shots back.
I could be all of those, but it doesn't matter because my soul, that's it. I talk to people in the way that I look in their soul. I know your soul. I see who you are as a person inside, not the person that you are on the outside. So anyone that says, oh, black pride, brown pride, I'm like, all right, have at it. You can have at it, but you had no control over that. And if you're that shallow to where you are so proud of your skin color that you had no choice of. Again, you had no choice. To me, that's crazy.
Well,
Be proud of your accomplishments because that's the soul inside you that was able to do that. Be proud of who you are as a person when it comes to how you handle people who are in need, people who are looking to you for support, and you're able to help them because of all the things you've gone through, and you're able to, reach back and say, look, I can help you as well because I've already gone through this and I can tell you this is the route to take. Be proud of that. Don't be proud of your freaking skin color. That's ridiculous to me. But at the same time, I'm not a hypocrite. If you're going to allow black pride, if you're going to allow brown pride, you have to allow white pride, and you have to allow green pride for the aliens.
Hell yeah. White pride, brother.
Have at it.
I think what triggers that emotion from
Austin doesn't believe that. I already guarantee he doesn't.
From the black folks side is
actually I did.
That's fine. Have at it. Don't care. It's the hair.
You gotta talk about the black nationalist movement, and that's where that conflict happens. A lot of people are still writing that black nationalist music, nationalism movement, right? And it moved away from the political side and just became more of a I'm black and I'm proud. Like, just think of all the propaganda that was being pushed to black folks to make them feel as though that they needed to create an identity and separate themselves from the country. That's all communism, communist, conflict theory, Marxism, all of those things tie into black nationalism. And that's why the majority of black folks, they're born into that identity. You can be born into a family where on their wall they have the black fist on the wall, so they're not knowing what all they know is James Brown singing I'm black and I'm proud every Saturday while they're doing cleaning up the house. So in a lot of black folks' defense, it's kind of what's been planted in their minds for so long. What the counter to that was way back in when was to get more black folks into the military, which we did.
Yep.
You know what I mean? To try and create some sort of patriotic identity as a black person.
And they had that in spades.
They had that. You had it, but now it's completely gone. But to kind of send a shot back to your way, well, Puerto Ricans, they all rock the Puerto Rican flag no matter what. I don't see any American flags hanging up down on Avenida Clinton, right? So
why you say it like that?
Well, I mean, it used to be that way, right? That was the name.
You come to my house, there's a huge American flag that's flying.
That's huge American flag. You are the exception
and right here, and
to
that
the
one
rule.
right there.
You are the exception
because
to the rule.
Because when you and I understand why Puerto Ricans in particular fly the Puerto Rican flag. Like, if you know the history behind it, they weren't allowed to. So therefore they have pride in their flag because the American military did not allow them to fly the Puerto Rican flag.
What's the difference within just the black national movement?
No, I'm
it's the bullshit that was being sent at our people that made them kind of disconnect from the country. It put them in a group to where it made it easier for them to be manipulated by politicians.
Well, the problem there was that we forced them to fly the American flag instead of flying Puerto Rico's flag. All right. And then on top of that, we continue to make Puerto Rico a commonwealth as opposed to a state. There's no reason why Puerto Rico can't be a state. No reason other than what Austin's about to say.
51 states just doesn't.
It doesn't
have that
work.
same
It doesn't
ring.
sound good.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
you got to have an even number.
This flag might look good with just
need
one
to bring
big
in
star.
another state. If you're gonna bring in Puerto Rico, then you might as well bring in
Guam.
Haiti don't want to be down. One of the
Guam.
either Jamaica,
Guam.
Where's Guam?
Guam is part of the United States.
All right,
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, I'd
It's
say
not.
You do not
50
need
states.
How do you not know this?
Bro, it could be. It's what is it? What do they call it? A territory.
Yes, you don't need your passport to go there.
So what? You don't need to go to Puerto Rico.
I might have lied about that.
I think what we got to do is we make Puerto Rico a
Let me see.
state, and then we get rid of one of the ones that doesn't matter. One of those square ones right in the middle, Montana or some shit. Like, just get rid of that. That way.
What do we
still
need
keep 50.
Idaho for?
Right.
Idaho.
I know they got
Stop.
potatoes.
We have listeners in Idaho. You can't say that.
Yeah, they got potatoes.
American Samoa.
Oh, okay, yeah, we right.
American Samoa, Guam, Puerto Rico, U.S. Virgin Islands, Northern Mariana Islands, Jarvis Island, Baker Island, Howland Island, Johnston Atoll, Wake Island, Midway Atoll, Navassa Island, and Micronesia are all U.S. territories. Did you know that?
No,
Is there at
that's
least
a
10
lot.
of them? Because I'm fine with 60 states.
There's 2, 4,
60,
6,
damn.
8,
Yeah, it has to
10,
go in, like-
12,
But
13.
are they gonna carry their weight in paying taxes?
There's 13.
Maybe. And you know what?
Well, hold on. So you believe in paying taxes?
Pick the 5 best. 55 states.
Listen,
Alright,
who's
Puerto
gonna
Rico's
pay?
in there.
Well,
Puerto
so
Rico's guaranteed in
our
there.
tax is gonna go to fixing up the streets of those rundown, countries that.
The shitholes? Are you gonna say that?
Oh hell yeah, absolutely.
Hell no. You hear this?
Absolutely,
Donald Trump
man.
over here. Donald Trump,
Absolutely,
the shithole
man.
countries.
They need America. We already give enough welfare to everybody in New York State.
I gotta say, I'm gonna disagree only because I'm talking about Puerto Rico because we produce
You ain't
sugar,
like,
plantains,
Trump was throwing paper towels. Like, Kobe,
Like, yo,
Kobe.
grab this. Grab this. Yeah, that was great.
Yo, Barbara said not allowed to have white student union.
You
Yeah,
can.
Yeah,
You can.
you can, but you don't have to call it white because the majority is white anyway. They'll just reject anybody that wants to get in. You don't have to call it that. Like we could just look and see. Like there you go.
But I know you can't though, because I know I
So
already know
you
that
can go ahead,
the
do
campus
it.
is gonna say no, you can't do that.
Well, then that's on them. But again, you're the majority. Like my God, like give the minorities a break.
What you got?
Some
wait,
call.
Cut us some slack.
What you have to do is theme it. Like, all right, well, like electricity. All right, you could be the White Power Union.
The white. Oh,
There we go. All right.
Shoot. I think that already
Okay.
got a lot of white people
My
in
power
trouble.
union.
Got them
Yeah, yeah,
Democrats,
or-
them
then have
Democrats in trouble when
a-
they created the KKK.
A white lightning vote.
Oh,
sure.
gosh.
Going in between a big S.
Well, the
or maybe-
white liberal would know.
Or maybe like
Right.
a white trivia
Right.
group. White trivia. You could call it "White is always right."
Yeah. Listen, blame the Democrats
like-
for that.
I
That's
feel like
on
we
them.
have gone so far down the white
As we
freaking
should.
rabbit hole. This whole
As we
podcast.
should. Get
You called
uncomfortable.
out my Ashkenazi Jew fro
There
and
you go. Stick.
Sure.
my Zionist Jew fro.
Don't listen. I would not take that, Austin. As an Irishman, you would probably piss off a lot of Irish people.
I'm sure.
There you go with the accent.
First off, I'm not even Irish. I'm English.
He's English.
English.
Get it right.
English, Irish.
My furthest I've traced back is Dutch.
He
In like
look-
the 1600s.
So where's the last name Scott come from?
Scotland, presumably, but I haven't traced that back anywhere.
Have you done a 23andMe?
You Irish, bro.
No, my grandpa has this
Don't do it.
book that's traced back our lineage all the way to the 1600s.
Yeah, white people love that, man.
Yeah.
y'all love
Yeah.
tracing your lineage.
Samuel Wyckoff is as far as we've gone.
I did that. I got my DNA. I got a little
Wyckoff.
Irish in me.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, there's the Wyckoff house is the oldest house in New York.
Were they always like in a fight with the Wackoff family?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and the Jackoffs.
That's not nice.
Oh, that's
That was too far.
that was the line.
That was the line right there.
Oh,
That was overt. That was
he,
overt.
He went on a Zionist Jew rant for an hour.
I guarantee we're canceled. I
Said the word jack off,
guarantee.
and
I
that's-
guarantee.
Hey,
That's
man.
the line. Okay, all right, glad to know.
Yeah, you're welcome.
It
Because
is
I'm
what it
white.
is,
It's
bro.
The line is a little further.
No, it's actually the fro allows you to do anything you want.
oh, exactly. Because with the power. Yeah.
That's good. Who knows? That might be that black in you, brother.
1% Congo.
Then you better take it. You're
My
right.
sister
There you
did the
go.
That's not a Congo fro.
ancestry.com.
There you go.
So you did do it. Oh, you said your
My
sister.
sister did.
Okay.
Yeah, she's my half sister, so I don't know.
Yeah,
You
good
could have
girl.
been a freaking descendant of a king.
Probably.
You know.
Do you not see
Yeah.
him with his cup?
Yeah,
I think,
I'm
hey,
royal as
His chalice?
fuck.
I think
He's
so. man.
he's so royal. He's not even on the camera.
Exactly. Can't look upon my face. I'm like Muhammad.
Thou shalt not.
Comment.
Right. Let's
Well,
talk about California for a minute here.
Oh, I already know where you're going with this one.
I don't think you do.
No, I do.
Homelessness?
No, you're
Thought
good.
so. Did you know what?
One last thing. You're right about white people being real nerdy about this. You see Stryker up there, the 1400s. Fucking nerd.
1400s in Germany?
I'm just kidding, Stryker. You're cool.
Striker is a nerd,
Yeah, definitely.
but I
Definitely.
identify with nerds.
Tracing back
You're
to the
good. You're good.
1400s, I trace
Yeah.
back to the 1600s like a normal person.
Oh,
Mm.
you don't have the scrolls from freaking.
Yeah, right. I tell
Oh
you.
man.
Back to California. Did you know that 30% of American homeless population and 50% of its unsheltered population live in California? 30% of the homeless population in America live in California, and 50% of its unsheltered population lives in California. They recently did a survey with the homeless people. A study, shall you? We got the. Can you guess what their conclusion was for the underlying basisness of the homelessness? I said baselessness because it really
White
is terrible.
supremacy.
No, the study found that for most of the participants, the cost of living, the cost of housing had simply became unsustainable. Can you guess what the median monthly household income of the participants in that study was? Monthly.
Monthly?
Monthly.
4,000. 4,000 a month.
2,000.
So you got 4,000, you got 2,000?
Yep.
So this study of the homeless population in California, who stated that their number one reason for being homeless was because the cost of housing had simply become unsustainable. Their monthly median household income was $960.
What the fuck were they doing?
Get another job.
Were they
And most believe that either rental subsidies or one-time financial help would have prevented their homelessness, with their $960 a month of monthly household income.
I think this is more mental health because we are first of all, I'm pretty sure California is a welfare state, just like New York State. I mean, we're blue.
This is also from the Atlantic, which is
that explains a lot.
Yeah. But there's going to be some people on city council who are going to, point to
they're
this.
Gonna get on that, right?
Yeah, jump all over it.
Jump on that.
Cost of housing is just simply unsustainable. My $960 a month. So when you look at $960 a month, what should be the not the dollar amount, the percentage that someone should be paying out of their monthly income? How much percentage wise should they be paying for their housing?
At the most 25-30%.
So 25 to 33% is when you go for a mortgage. That's what they look at.
Yeah.
So we're talking about 1/3 of $960. That means that your housing cost should then be $320.
But what is $900 a month with one person?
Yeah, household income.
Household income. So what are you doing for a fucking job? $900 a month. Divide that out by 30. What is that? Like, I don't know, $60 a day? Not even that.
No.
$20 a day?
You're getting $30 a day, $32
$32 a day. So what is that per hour?
Jeez.
$5 an hour. What job are you doing?
$4 an hour.
What state do you live in?
California.
Yeah. What in California?
California.
What job? If your household income is $900
California
a month,
minimum wage is like $15.
what is their minimum wage then? What is California's minimum wage?
I think it's $15. Let
If
me double check.
But then again, we're talking about
how are they making money? This article makes no sense. If your household income is $900 a month, that means you're working below minimum wage.
Right.
You're
not working. You're not working.
$15.50.
So $15.50, 15 times 4. I mean, that means that's $60. That's somebody working a part-time job. 60 times 30, that's $1,600 a month.
$1,800. But go ahead.
Okay, so somebody's lying here.
No. They're not working. This is what I had to tell people.
Okay, so then
monthly
that's the problem.
Income does not mean, just because you're receiving money does not mean that's an income. That's not an income because you have to earn that money.
Yeah, so
income could mean you're given money. So these people are living on government subsidies of $960 a month.
Food stamps. Okay, so if you got mad kids, you're getting more food stamps per kid you pop out. Right. So you yourself is probably getting a base pay of $300 in food stamps, right, to survive for the month. You add each kid, that shit's going up to like $600-900. But then also your rent should be getting paid. Your utilities should be getting paid. So I'm kind of confused as far as who is his article is targeting. Is this like trying to make people want to think that, state taking over everything is sort of the option or the route?
Well, what's the title of it?
The root cause of homelessness crisis. Yeah, this is we're on our way. We're on our way, boy.
That's a long way to spell work ethic.
Oh, Austin's drinking today.
Yeah, that's the second cup.
You can't prove that.
Did the Atlantic use old data? No, this is from, I think they said from like a number of years of data that they went through.
Who's the author of this? Who's the writer?
Jerusalem Dempsey.
Oh, there you go.
Good Lord, we are getting canceled immediately.
There you go.
That's not a Zionist name. I don't know what is.
Jeez,
Right then and
Louise.
there.
Definitely getting canceled. 100% getting canceled. So that conversation leads to our conspiracy theory of the week. Let's go back to COVID days for a minute here, okay? Many downtown commercial properties were destroyed during BLM riots. Agreed?
I guess.
You guess?
I guess.
So yes or no? Were commercial properties destroyed or burnt or, broken during the BLM riots?
I don't know. I know when I went out to clean up, Save-A-Lot was ravaged and rummaged, and the whole plaza was
I don't know why you're
destroyed.
laughing about that.
So I don't know. I don't know who did it because BLM said they didn't do it.
Fine. During the BLM riots, were businesses and commercial properties destroyed?
Yeah, they were.
Whether it was done by BLM or some.
But they said it never
outside
happened.
entities.
They said it never happened, bro.
Fine. We agree on that. Businesses that were located in the red zone, Governor Cuomo's red zone, which were all inner city businesses, were forced to continue to be closed. Actually, 41% of inner city businesses were closed forever, while suburban businesses and large corporations were allowed to stay open. Agreed?
Yep, that seems about right.
Okay. As a result of shutdowns, people didn't pay rent for almost 2 years. Or as a result of, politicians. Yeah. People didn't pay rent for almost 2 years. So rents were forced to increase dramatically due to not only loss of rent revenues, but also squatters, people living in squalor and destruction from tenants, like we saw on the podcast a couple weeks ago with Crystal. Do we agree with that as well?
Yeah.
That was an easy one for you. All right. Adding to all of that, many middle income earners, so like nurses, teachers, military, also lost their jobs due to certain mandates. Agreed? Okay. So we can all agree on those assumptions concerning the aftermath, specifically in our city, and other like-minded big Democratic ran cities, the aftermath of COVID. Do we agree with that? Austin agrees. So that must be a guarantee there. So while Democratic cities are still recovering from all of that, we are now being invested in heavily and redeveloped by large finance and development companies with the help of federal dollars at extremely low interest rates that many of us normal human beings, normal investors, normal business people could never get. Could that be the actual reason why BLM and the progressive DAs were not only well-funded by big-name donors, but also why no accountability came from the destruction of property or even holding their leaders accountable who use that donor money to buy multi-million-dollar homes? Do you believe that do you believe this conspiracy that states that the end result was always meant to be that the rich got richer and the poor got poorer, all accomplished by the pockets that the big dollar donors had their hands in?
Yes. Absolutely. 100%.
We just had more legislation that came through in our city that allowed big corporations to buy up properties at very low interest rates in our city.
But they're for the people. Do they read? Do they? Well, I'm
not only that, but also our city is investing heavily into the areas that have been left behind by, let's say, the large corporations that have been broken into for the past year. almost every day.
What if okay, since we're going down a conspiracy rabbit hole right now,
I'm not even going to click the allegedly part there because I
we
think
know what it is, right? So again, you create the problem so you can have the solution. That's what's already in play. Because if just like you have a whole bunch of folks is going into the drugstores like Walgreens, for example, and then the Rite Aid, right, which is our mayor who championed himself as for the people, right?
Okay.
Could we put allegedly on for that one?
No.
Oh, okay.
Allegedly.
Where our drugstores are leaving because they're getting robbed every single day.
Not just robbed, ransacked.
Yeah, which again, I think that could be
progressive DAs.
Yeah,
because you can get away with it.
Yeah,
in New York.
Yeah, but I think that goes hand in hand to where they're being told to do it. There's something going on with the increase of crime. It's not the lack of crime where criminals are like, oh, you know what? I'm going to start stealing because no one told me.
They say it's because of COVID.
Whatever.
Because because you lost your job. Now that you're poor, and even though you have a work ethic, you must obviously turn to living a life of crime.
Yeah. And why would anybody want to destroy their own community unless you're being incentivized to?
Nobody went out to Pittsford.
Right.
Nobody went out to freaking Fairport.
No.
There was one post I saw that they're like, oh, we're heading out to, I believe it was Charlotte. They said we're going out to Charlotte next. And if you haven't seen it in the news in the past, I don't know, month or so, the last 2 criminals that thought that they can break into someone's house or that thought they can cause havoc in my neighborhood. I'm talking about like within a few streets of my house. Both of them got shot by a legally bearing gun owner. The person that owned the house was not having it. Right.
They fucked around and found out.
Right.
Oh, man.
But yet when I tell, like, someone had emailed into city council saying that their son was having some issues. And I told him the first thing was to get loaded, locked and loaded.
Right.
And I got, oh, this is not what Jose does not speak for city council. This is not what we all agree with. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting there saying, what don't you agree with?
Yeah. How would they want the people to protect themselves?
They must call 911 and sit there and wait.
But they don't like 911. They don't like the cops. Remember, they hate the cops.
Yep.
They hate law enforcement. So what do they want?
So there was a council member who showed up to work and their office was broken into by some young kids. And the young kids decided, not only are we going to break into this place, but we're going to go ahead and take a nap.
Yo, these kids are funny.
This council member, won't name names, called the Center for Youth, and Center for Youth came out there and had a conversation with the children. I turned to the person to my right who was part of the, further left than I am. You can probably see it on camera if you watch the city council meeting. Sorry. And I said to that person, what do you think my response would have been if I showed up to my job, to my business, to my work, and it was broken into and the person was still there? And you could see the person like turn around and laugh and they're like, you're a hot mess. I'm like, I promise you, break into my house, the police are not the first people I'm calling. I guarantee that. They're not the first people I'm calling. I'm calling a lawyer first.
Because after that point, you already finished the job. But why? But here's my question though.
It's my family. Like the only reason you're coming into my house is
Jose?
To destroy something of mine.
Answer the question for your colleagues. Why do they believe that that's a bad thing? You protecting yourself.
Because they don't believe in, they're going to go ahead and call that, they think it's too masculine, I would say, to bring it down to the bare minimum. No, they're not going to say that. They're going to say you don't fight it with further violence. We don't need violence to handle the situation. Well, I'm sorry, but some people are going to learn with violence. Or some people are just not going to do it ever again because of violence.
You know, my girlfriend just texted me.
Is she watching?
No, I don't think so.
She doesn't watch.
But she did say to ask you, is there anything city council can do? She's buying a new car right now. She was in a car accident a couple weeks ago. Her car was totaled. Is there anything city council can do so she can buy a Hyundai without it getting, stolen? And
does she live in the city?
No, she lives in Fairport.
Oh, she's fine.
Yeah,
she's good.
That's
but you live in it. No,
I do live.
You live in a city.
I live off Wynn.
Yeah. But don't tell people.
Wynn's a big road. All right. Good luck.
Yeah. You see him on his bike rides around Tryon Park.
Yeah. Exactly. Look around Tryon Park. That's where I am.
That's exactly where he is. I know. No.
Yeah, they're
no. The city's the city is, we are suing Hyundai. I still have no idea where that money is going to go because we're going to win the lawsuit. Obviously.
Are you?
Of course.
Really?
They're going to settle. Guaranteed they're going to settle.
They're going to settle.
Yeah, but that's not going to solve the problem.
Right. But where's that money going to go? What are we suing for? Exactly.
Hey, Malik's got to pay off his handlers. He's got to pay back that debt.
We didn't even have a choice in the attorneys that we were going to use to represent the city. We didn't have a choice.
That's weird. She got a whole law department upstairs.
No, we got the help of a third party.
But why wouldn't you use your own law department? That makes no sense.
It's a really good question. That's a common sense question.
Yeah. I try to ask him.
Yeah.
I mean, again, we have a mayor that.
So we're going to skip past what he's about to say. Let's go to how that we can combat all of that we just went through with the fact that these big corporations, people with big money are coming in and taking over these very prestigious real estate lots and taking over and redeveloping them. Let's talk about how we can combat this on a very personal level. There's a lady in Detroit that's doing something about it. So we obviously know Detroit's been through some hard times.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the precursor to Rochester, I feel like.
Yeah. I hope not.
I mean, basically.
I hope not as well.
I think we got more. Rochester has more white collar jobs, and we also have more medical than Detroit, and we're smaller.
Well, I think the Detroit comparison is actually pretty apt because we're both industry cities, whereas Detroit was all about the car industry, and when that failed, that's when Detroit fell to ruin. And Rochester was photo city. It was Kodak and Xerox, and when those fell, that's when Rochester really sort of fell.
Well, no, I don't know. I don't think we fell. I think the conglomerate of the medical field is what saved us.
You think Photonics did it?
I think U of R did it.
You know the Mayo Clinic is in the other Rochester, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about the University of Rochester. Strong Memorial Hospital is the number one employee in the city. Employer, yeah. They are the number one employer, and there's U of R's all over the place. I think the medical field and pharmaceutical and their research, departments and the cancer studies and all those things is what kept us afloat.
I don't know that it's a sign of a healthy city if the hospital.
It's not a sign of it's not the sign of a healthy city.
But then again, we're not learning the fact that if we put all of our eggs in one basket, or we're not.
Thank God for COVID, because U of R banked on COVID. You know what I mean? And it goes to, I don't know if we touched on this before, but I'm very familiar with the medical field. My mom was retired University of Rochester employee, with the medical research department. And just overall, where they put their money, how they invest their money, they invested heavily within, research, not as much, on the, medical research side, but within just their cancer units and, their heart units and all those other departments that they have, they've been able to kind of stay afloat and make a lot of money throughout the years. And
a lot of research.
Yes, a lot of research.
Whole lot of
research. Of people. So when the pandemic hit, University of Rochester was called on by the governor to kind of, do a lot of things, and a lot of that federal money was coming to the city of Rochester. That's why. What's our medical liaison guy? What's his name? Mendoza. How much money Mendoza makes?
Yeah.
So U of R is doing very well. So
well, Detroit is coming back.
I'm good for Detroit.
They're coming back, but a lady in Detroit is doing the right thing. We got the article there.
Good for her.
She's using alternative finance to buy investment houses, to buy up a bunch of them. This one right here, who likely was told that she could never be able to do what she's doing. You're not even looking.
I'm here. Listen.
A real estate investor. This young lady right here owns 35 units, has never bought a home with a traditional mortgage. She explains how she uses 0% APR credit cards to fund investment properties and why it's not for everyone. That young lady right there understands that you don't need very much money, cash money in your account to buy up property.
And she's black.
Is she?
Oh, I think so.
I didn't even know. I thought
she's not sitting up there saying, I can't because, the man denied me credit.
It was the Zionists holding her back.
Ashkenazis.
Yeah,
Ashkenazis. Yeah.
I mean, maybe she didn't knock on that door. She didn't knock on the right door yet. Maybe.
Well, she's buying up properties in Detroit and doing it all on her own and doing it with zero money out of pocket.
Good for her, man. That's the American dream.
That's how you combat a lot of this that's going on. There's a lot of people who are leaving Rochester who are more than willing to say, you know what? You want to take on the risk? I'll hold the note for you. Go ahead. Yeah. You handle the people. You handle the tenants. You handle evicting them. You handle fixing up that house.
Yeah. All day long. It's always the strategy. It's the art of the deal. Donald Trump said.
It's more than that.
Bro, that's everything.
No, because a lot of people are not willing to take on the risk.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing. How she was able to
donuts.
However way she was able to do that without a traditional mortgage. It's about finding those situations and then knowing the right solution to that problem that makes sense to the seller.
Right. You're solving someone else's problems.
Yeah, kudos to her. Balling.
You think her race had anything to do with holding her back?
It had everything to do with it. There's less competition for it. It had less competition. So, you know what I'm saying?
Well, on the opposite end, we're going to go into our weekly insanity.
Oh, shit.
Opposite side of this young lady right here who's doing her damn thing in Detroit.
Give her shout out. I'm going to follow her on Twitter.
What is going on right now?
Oh, shoot.
You have the picture.
Personal email.
You've got the Snow White picture.
I do. I forgot to. I labeled it as Snow White and not insanity.
Oh, my bad.
Fool. No, you told me it was
weekly insanity. I sure did.
Austin is drunk right now, yo. He's fucking toasted.
Watch out. Kevin's going to jump on and say that we're all hammered doing this.
You can't prove that. I'm not even a little toasted.
You can't prove that.
Listen. This was only 64 ounces.
Yo, look at that.
It's a full gallon.
It's gone.
That's not a gallon. What is it? Half a gallon.
It's 64 ounces. What is
so
8
half a gallon.
In a cup.
Half a gallon. 2
cups in a pint.
Jeez,
2 pints in a quart.
No, you know math is racist, dude. You're talking to a Latino and a black guy. You're talking about math is racism.
I think this is only a half gallon.
It's half gallon. I said that like 2-3 minutes ago.
You said a gallon.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm looking for the Snow White picture, which I know I loaded. Don't even worry about it.
He is so fucking drunk.
You can't prove that.
I'm going to take my
the first time, yo. Oh, that's racist, right?
See, could I pull up?
Can we move up a little bit? It looked like Prince Charming was like on top.
So can you tell me?
He looked like he was
out of these 2 pictures, the 3 issues that Disney has with Snow White.
Number 1,
movie.
Number 1, there are dwarves.
How are you jumping into this?
Oh, what? I'm not allowed to jump into it? Since when am I not allowed to jump into the conversation?
You had a pre-look at the picture.
I did not look at the picture.
Okay, all right. So the dwarfs, that's 1.
Then the dwarfs, there's 1. 2, there's a guy kissing a lady. And ladies aren't allowed to be attracted to guys anymore. I learned that.
That's not it. That's close, but not it.
And 3, it's animated, and they're not allowed to make animated movies anymore.
I think the fact that Snow White is asleep and it's a guy taking advantage of her.
That's a good second one.
And then the dwarves.
Yeah.
I mean,
Dwarfs is one of them.
Well, yeah. So you got midgets playing music.
You can't say midgets.
Why not?
You can't say midgets.
Let's say little people.
Little people.
How dare you?
Oh gosh.
Have you not seen the movie Tiptoes, starring Matthew McConaughey and Kate Beckinsale?
The answer is no.
And Gary Oldman plays a little person.
The answer is still no.
It's fucking awesome.
Is it live action animation?
No, it's live action. It's Gary Oldman plays a little person. You know, he sort of tucks his arms in.
Oh, God.
Like every scene, he's in like a couch, and they just put these little legs in front of him. It's so amazing.
I'm trying to find the other issues. Maybe it's because Snow White is just towering over these little people, just saying, "Oh, you little people are cute."
You were halfway right. Halfway right. So the 3 issues are, number 1, obviously the dwarfs.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously. Number 2, the man kissing woman.
Okay,
right? When she's sleeping.
Yeah, I was right on that one.
That's what I said.
Let me tell you what I'm going to get into the third one after. So the reimagination of this movie, because it's going to be he's looking at him. He's going right to Google. They're going to do this in a live action movie.
No.
So 6 of the 7 male cartoon dwarfs have been replaced by human magical creatures of all sizes, colors, and genders. So inclusive, right?
Oh God.
They do have one dwarf in there still.
And there's gonna be a gay one.
Allegedly, maybe.
Now, was it something about all the dwarves being gay? Like that was kind of like a conspiracy.
Never heard of that.
They were all.
There is one conspiracy there. We'll get into that though.
Okay.
Someone claimed concerning the kiss. Yeah, we got the picture there. Can everyone see that?
This is it.
Those are the 7 dwarfs.
They will.
Well, but they got one. They have one real.
They got one little guy in there.
So what's his name? Peter Dinklage, whatever. He had a problem with.
Yeah, he had a big problem with it.
Yeah.
Well, the others are saying he doesn't speak for us. So it's kind of like people from the left who are speaking over for people of color and saying things that people of color don't really
know any better, fucking short guy.
Yeah.
We know better than you.
So how do you feel?
Our agenda, not yours.
How would you feel being the only actual little
some
person being in 7 dwarfs?
Well, you got 2 token blacks. No, 3.
Well,
you got a half breed.
I think they're mixed.
They're not called dwarves in the new movie. They're called magical creatures.
Yes.
That's worse.
Yeah.
We call it a creature? What the fuck?
They also said the original movie was promoting quasi-compulsive, obscene sexual acts on an unconscious partner.
Wow. That was right.
Right.
He was in a dominating position, like, yeah, wake up, bitch.
Mad dominating, right? Even though that was
his tongue.
That was a magical cure that awoke her, right?
Yeah.
Now, was the third problem the fact that Snow White was white?
Yes.
Hey, I got it.
And the reason why she was called Snow White was why?
Because her skin was white as snow, as according to was it Hans
the
Christian
original
Andersen?
movie?
Yeah.
Yes.
How dare you?
So they've replaced the woman whose skin was white as snow with a woman whose skin is as beautiful as mine.
Can white people say they're white? Like, hey, I'm a white person and not be offensive?
I sure hope so, because I'm white as
like if you say, hey, I'm white, oh my God, that's so offensive.
I feel
you
like
told me that you're white. That's fucking retarded, man. But I can't say that either.
Yeah.
Retarded means slow, I guess.
Yeah,
but
you didn't do the hard tard though. You didn't do the hard tard.
That wasn't quite as hard a tard.
As Dave from the streets.
Yes.
But
I'm still gonna get canceled after this show.
So there is a conspiracy theory, not a conspiracy theory. There is an alternative idea behind Snow White and the 7 dwarfs.
Wait, can we zoom in on these people real quick?
You can't say these people.
No, because the last guy is okay. Somebody
Captain
in this
Jack
group,
Sparrow.
Yeah, okay. Somebody in this group has to be the homosexual. Who is the homosexual? Is it going to be
the second one?
I'm actually going to guess.
I think it's going to be the lesbian. I think it's going to be the black.
It's going to be a lesbian.
It's the black one. No, it's the black one. From the second
one is black.
No.
The black, but she's going to be the lesbo. She's like the BLMer.
It's
you know,
She might be trans.
prideful.
it's the middle one with the giant penis. I don't know if you guys can really see it on this picture.
How'd you even make out his sack, bro?
No, because it's so big.
Austin is definitely drunk.
Gone.
As
You
they say,
can't prove that.
alcohol is the eyes to the soul. Right there. You better watch out.
He has a closer look to it. I'll give him that, I guess.
I'm about to look at my man Unit. Like, oh shit. You see my man ball sack? It's
Can you turn on my camera while you're over there, please?
maybe it's his pants.
And his camera?
Who's to say the freaking short little midget dude got the biggest sack? Who the heck knows?
You can't say midget.
Oh my god. Whatever do you want to call him. The one who can't get on the rides at Seabreeze.
What about the
That
one that's
guy.
behind him? Wasn't he the original guy from like MTV? The guy that does like the annoying guy.
Oh wait, hold on. The gay person is the guy who was hiding behind when I had the little menu down. It's the guy on the far right.
Oh, that far right white person?
Yeah, that's the gay dude right
That's
the gay dude. Yeah, he's
definitely
definitely
the gay dude.
there. Yeah,
100% gay.
Glad
Yeah.
we cleared that.
Yeah,
up.
absolutely gay.
Yeah, that tracksuit is giving it away.
He's got it. Hands
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, that's the gayest one for sure.
Definitely the gayest.
Is that
one.
a hoodie? You got a hoodie too?
Yeah, he got
Oh,
a
for sure.
matching freaking.
Yeah.
He's the leader.
When is this movie supposed to take place?
It doesn't
'Cause
matter.
Look at these clothes.
This is disgusting.
This looks like it takes place in Seattle.
The third dude up with the green
You don't
and
think Portland?
with the shirt wide open, he's high on shrooms or
Where
weed or
was the
something.
place with the Chaz, the autonomous zone? Was that
That
Seattle?
was Seattle. That
Yeah,
was Seattle.
this looks like it takes place in the autonomous zone.
That does look like exactly like them, where they sexually harassed and actually molested and raped women.
Yeah.
When all the
that's-
laws are gone, those nasty ass far left guys went straight to rape. Yeah, trust
Yeah.
me, I remember that.
Right.
Is that fourth guy the one right in the middle flicking us off?
No, that's just
I
his.
don't think so.
That's
No?
just the staff that he's got and the guy who
Austin's too busy
thinks
looking
he's
at
got
the
big unit.
the meat,
Yeah, he's
Right.
all up on
while
my
the
man
last
meat
guy is
baby.
kind of hiding it. Right? He's scared of it.
Yeah, it's a surprise.
But the gay guy is proud. I'm first. Hi ho. What do they sing?
Hi ho.
Oh, did you see what they did with the Oompa Loompas too?
Oh no, they changed them too.
Yes, they have what's his name, the British guy,
Hugh
Blue
Grant.
Eyes, Hugh Grant. So they have Hugh Grant playing it, but they shrink him.
Yeah, it's
to
in
play an
the,
Oompa Loompa.
The Wonka trailer.
How does that make sense?
The revolution will not be televised, folks. This is just weird. Like anything that we come off of, like that comes off the movie screen or TV or what have you. I mean, I don't know. It's something behind every single thing that we see, bro. It's really weird.
Everything's turning.
Which is why they're trying to kill our movie,
So gay.
Sound of Freedom, the one that Austin doesn't believe is going on.
You still haven't gone to
No,
see
he's
it.
not gonna
So-
see it.
No, I'm not gonna see it, but
Why?
because I get it. Like I get it.
That's not the same. It's not the same.
Like I don't need to see the movie. I get it. I get the point.
You don't want
I
to
understand
invest
it.
in guys going out there and protecting children.
Yeah, I will send some money to.
Have you? Because you said that last week.
I know. And
So have you?
Still waiting for that.
No, I know. I'll get
Ah.
around to it.
You know what that
someday.
sounds like? The people that said, "Oh, instead of doing the ice bucket challenge, I'll just donate," and they never did.
That is exactly what I did. I'll get there.
I did the ice bucket challenge.
Oh, because you were fucking falling in line with all the propaganda.
No,
That was
because
a-
I had a white T-shirt on. I said, "Yes, let me show it off."
that was so CIA.
For sure.
That and then the mannequin challenge. Like everybody standing still. Let's see how many people gonna do some dumb shit and put it on social media. And
That was
literally it
before
like-
TikTok.
Yeah, and it was when Facebook was like, "Oh my gosh, everybody do the mannequin challenge. Let's
What-
all stand still and just fucking have somebody record us standing still like."
Are you
dumb fucks."
against that?
So stupid
Why are you against that?
because it's dumb.
Why does it matter?
It's called herding cattle.
Why does it matter?
It matters because now we see what we have. No, let's
Eh,
see.
that's a far reach again.
No. Now let's see who's all gonna wear a fucking mask because we tell you you're gonna wear a mask.
That's a jump.
Oh well, it
You're
worked.
jumping all night.
I
It worked.
can't jump that far
No,
You don't have to
'Cause
but
you're white.
hey,
because I'm white.
well, the CIA and FBI worked with Facebook hand in hand, and where did we see that?
And Holly weird.
Holly weird.
Well, Well,
what it
oh,
say?
dang. That's
Peter
a
Dinklage
whole
screwed everything
talking
up
about-
by complaining about. I don't think he screwed it up. I think he was right. You know, I think he was right in his assessment. He's like,
I get what he was trying to say.
yeah, I get
Like
what he's trying to
we
say.
want to be able to play normal human beings and not just
Hey.
little people. I get that. I get that.
Well, I can't. Well, see the thing, you can't play anything other than a little person because you're little, bro. Like you are what you are.
I saw it at Pierce Morgan.
But within just
Yeah, it was,
his most
Hornswoggle.
famous role as Lord Tyrion, not Lord Tyrion, but
It was Lord Tyrion. He was a lord. Of
Was
the
he a
Lannister-
lord?
it was
Yes, the Lannister house.
Yes.
Yeah, Lannister house. Yes.
Yes.
Tyrion Lannister. To me, he stood tall in that show. He was freaking amazing.
The first 6 seasons of that
Yes.
show are
Yes.
so good.
Yeah, the last couple disgusting.
Don't worry about it.
I
Don't ever watch.
again. I stopped at the red wedding. I couldn't
couldn't
handle
get
it. I
past
couldn't
that?
handle it. I couldn't
No.
handle
That
it.
was deep.
That was too much.
deep.
The 4th season is probably the best, but that's fine. That was the end of the 3rd season.
Yeah.
We watched
Yeah,
it.
that was too much. I couldn't handle it.
6 after.
You know what's really good
don't
now?
watch.
If anyone's tired of us not talking about politics, I'm telling you right now, we're gonna jump into pop culture partisans now. Always
we
Sunny
do.
in Philadelphia. The new season is really funny.
I've never watched
believe
the
it.
fucking
That-
episode.
Every time I see it, it's really funny.
It's
I just
so
haven't
funny.
Watched it like consistently.
I had to show one of my good friends the other night.
The last
Because-
white sitcom I watched was Seinfeld, and that's it.
That's not white. It has Danny
Ah.
DeVito.
What the fuck?
This is the whitest. He
It's
makes
not a puma.
limoncello. What the fuck are you talking about?
He's whiter than white.
He
bro.
also eats watermelon at the beach.
Oh god.
So do I.
How he's not canceled by now for eating watermelon on camera?
No, but
Oh shit, he's fucking toasted. He'll be canceled by next week.
no, he won't.
Watch.
He's done. You know how many things he's
White
done on
people
Always
can't
Sunny?
eat watermelon or chicken.
No, he did it like on the actual water, like
Oh,
floating.
he's gonna get canceled. How dare you eat watermelon?
There was an episode. One of my favorite episodes was
That's like wearing blackface.
D dating a black guy. That was one of my favorite episodes.
Super good.
It's so good.
I'm surprised Robert De Niro isn't canceled because all he does is date black girls.
Why would he be canceled then?
Because you're white and you're dating black people. You're racist. And you're impregnating them.
Yeah, you're fetishizing.
Yes.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
come on.
the
So what point are you
he's a
not
slave
fetishizing and you
master.
just you're just accepting?
he's a slave master, bro.
Why can't you just be someone who accepts
Right.
others?
No,
You
it's
have
not
to
how it
be,
works.
Bill Burr, who just doesn't apologize for it.
I like Bill Burr.
Can we?
Bill Burr's good.
He's
Yeah.
hilarious.
I want people to stop apologizing. Honestly, stop apologizing.
No, we have to keep going. You have to take it to the next step. What's the next step from this ridiculous state that we're in?
Stealing cars
Ooh.
and not apologizing.
We've been doing that. Like,
Yeah. So what's the next step from that?
I don't know.
I'm not equating freaking dating black women to stealing cars. By the way,
Right. Those are
there's
the
gonna be
same.
somebody. There's gonna be some idiot out there who's
Jose
gonna make the
Pio says
connection.
dating black women is
Yeah.
the same as stealing cars.
Yeah, or you're going out stealing cars with black women.
Next, the smoke alert for the tomorrow.
Yeah.
There was a article I read where they were talking about like on how everything like the dating world right now, like the dating apps. They said black women are the least appealing on dating apps. Like, whoa, it's like shit.
Yeah.
That's not racist.
Yeah,
I
but
don't know
that's
what it is.
that's the same thing with porn sites.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
They're the least appealing
really.
to people who watch porn.
That's crazy because there's a whole bunch of white dudes with the black girl fetish that goes back ever since they started raping them on the slave plantations.
I guess it's not that big of a fetish.
Oh, it's the diversion, right? We don't like black girls.
Listen,
Allegedly.
Sometimes you just got that jungle fever.
You got that. Oh shit. Austin is fucking
on.
yes.
on.
Whoa. Holy shit. This definitely is different from last week. Last week he was a freaking pedophile sympathizer. Today he's gonna be borderline racist. What in the hell is going on?
He's a liberal.
He's trying to get
hitting
off the
all
show,
liberal
Jose.
talking
You
points.
better have a private conversation with Austin. And
Don't.
ask if he still
Don't.
wants to be on the show.
Don't. If you're a young person, do not have a private conversation with Austin.
Yeah, never.
As a liberal,
Yo.
he might ask to bring his Xbox over.
Oh
Hey,
my
now.
gosh.
Can't prove that.
Oh my goodness.
So this is what happens when we hit that hour and a half. This is what we're going to do from now on. We're going to his new baby mama is Asian.
Who's that?
I don't know. I know black people love Asian.
We talk about
girls.
De Niro.
How do you know about my personal life? Shut up.
De Niro, baby mom is Asian.
For real?
got
No,
some
she's
in
black.
her. I thought she was black, man.
Same thing with what's his name from Sense of a Woman, one of the best movies ever.
I think she's probably getting them confused with
Austin.
Pacino.
Pacino. Yeah. No, he was. I thought she was black too.
Al Pacino. Nah, Al Pacino chick. That was a stripper. I think it was.
Good
it
for
had to
him.
be a prostitute.
Why would
He's
you not?
80-some years old. He
But
paid
honestly,
for that.
why would you not? Yeah.
He
why would
paid
you
for
not?
that. He definitely paid for that.
Totally would.
What was Schwarzenegger's maid?
Hispanic.
Hispanic?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Mexican.
Probably Latinx.
Sure.
She's
of
from
course.
California.
Right. Latinx.
Yeah.
Got it.
Oh no, she is. She does look. She's
black.
look Asian. No, Robert De Niro's new chick, Tiffany Chen. She's straight up Asian, straight up off the boat.
I'm not going to disagree on that one. Not off the boat. Jeez. Oh my God.
Out there, milk
Off the rail. Our podcast is going off the rail now.
milking this.
De Niro said, "I'm about to go in a different way, yo. I'm about to." You know, that's him. Literally, like he's thinking forward for when China takes over America. He's like, "Yo, listen, bro. I want to be already in. I'm good. Yeah."
Here come. Go ahead. Do the accent. What's the accent that you're gonna even try
I don't have
here?
a good De Niro accent. I'm sorry. I don't have a good one.
I have nipples, Chen.
Can you milk me?
Can you milk
Can
me?
you milk me?
Can you milk me, fucker?
Yeah.
You think he paid her to do that?
Milk his nipples?
Oh,
Probably.
man. That's funny.
Well, we've hit our quota here of the hour and a half. We've been so used to doing 2 hours, 2.5 hours, 3 hours over the past week. We're gonna give our listeners
Barbara is on
break
everything.
here.
She is not playing. First of all, she talked about the lack of people getting hung in the first segment. And now she said Pacino's new baby mama is Arab. Arab what? Because Arab is vast, like,
Arabic.
Arabic from where? Like Dubai,
is there another one?
or is he Arabic American, Arab
Saudi Arabian?
or does she just practice, the religion? She just Islamic? I don't freaking know.
I feel like there's so many, like, I don't know if it's racist at all.
Listen,
quite
I
sure.
can't be racist. I'm black.
It's true. I said the same thing about being
You know
Puerto
what I'm saying?
Rican,
Can't be
but the
racist.
news still said I was racist.
No, well, yeah, that was funny. But
That's why-
again,
That's why I don't show my face.
oh yeah, they will come at you, Austin.
No,
The
look,
Christians.
I'm at
will.
Jose Pio, the only
No.
one.
Because you
You
show
will.
your face. Listen,
That's
if I
fine.
showed my face and you guys
Yeah.
just said whatever you guys were saying,
Yeah, but his face.
I would be the face of this podcast.
And you don't agree with everybody, Jose.
Well, his face is an awesome face. First of all, I can't hide it. Second of all, when you have high testosterone, you are highly unlikely to agree with people. So you have a high disagreeableness. It's science.
Is it? And again, Austin's showing your whole freaking
All my shit.
No, that
No, it's
only,
not. That was
only we
invisible.
saw that. Yeah, no, that wasn't for
Okay.
everybody.
That was
All right,
my
good.
that was my OnlyFans. You guys are not privy to.
Ooh, thinking about that.
Yeah.
Yo, this guy is on fire today.
So we're gonna be
Yep.
doing some things. We got some big news coming up in the next 2 weeks roundabout. We're not gonna announce it tonight, but we got some big things happening. I think that people are gonna be really excited about what we're doing. It might have to get to a point where our actual legitimate followers, those who actually watch us live, as well as those who catch us the next day, not to try and find clips to freaking try and come after me with. At this point, they can't because I'm done in 5 months. What are you gonna do at that point? But those who are actually listening in to be like, what's going on in this world and trying to hear some form of common sense. We're likely going to have to go down a road of creating some kind of community online where we're able to speak directly to you and let you know what's coming up, what we're doing, what's happening, events, like stuff that's happening that you did last night. Like those are the type of things that we want people to show up to, because last night we had a nice get together. You had a nice get together. I was involved with where we had what, like 10, 15 people, 10, 12 people there,
Yeah.
where we just discussed some things that were happening in the world and seeing it in a different light, because half of them were black, half of them were white.
One was Puerto Rican.
One was Puerto Rican, right? So
but we weren't afraid to have conversation, though.
We were not. We were unafraid. What we were most afraid of is the guy that showed up with half shorts and a half shirt that might have been listening in to what we were talking about.
Oh man,
good for him, man. If he ain't had it, I'm just saying, if you got it, flaunt it. But
no.
Austin probably would have liked it, I guess.
How come we didn't show?
You can't prove that.
We didn't show some of the things that folks missed from the parade this last what was it, this weekend?
We didn't show it?
No.
Are you sure?
No, we didn't show the guy that had the fan.
Yeah.
That said,
we sure we didn't talk about that last week?
No, we didn't talk about it last week because it was this weekend.
Are you trying to extend the podcast more?
I am just trying to, for the people,
this guy, that
they understand and see that there are other people out there that want them to show certain things and be, proud
and be proud of being able to
show this thing
to your children.
Yes. I really
took. Are you sure we didn't talk about that?
No, we did not. Because it was just this weekend. It was just this Sunday when I called you and like, yo, and he was like, oh yeah, I was already on that. Let me show you this.
I feel like all this. I'm sending you the email right now to pull up pictures. I feel like all the days now are just running into each other. Does everyone else feel like that? Or am I just like busy all the time that I just feel as though that is the truth? Because I swear to you, I honestly, if I didn't look at the thing right now, I would have no idea what today's date was. No idea.
Yeah, I really, felt that this was very, very disrespectful.
My dad said we don't need to see.
Oh, well,
you might want to turn your eyes.
Well, it's not like you're actually seeing the actual act, but you're seeing the
request of
the request. Exactly. And then you can take it from there as far as what to do with that request.
Show the two weird pictures, and then we'll have the third picture as the ending of the podcast there of Austin, or I was gonna say Austin, Laval's favorite character.
Hey,
yeah, that was last. Oh no, that one's in it. Yep, that one's in it.
Yeah, look at that, guys. Zoom in on that.
No, he's not showing that. Are you showing that?
Not yet. Do you want me to show the
other one?
Go ahead, show it. Just show it.
Okay.
Is that easier to just jump right into it?
There we go. Okay, I'm showing it now.
All right, so go ahead and zoom in on that. Can you do that?
We'll find out.
Like, I want
no, apparently not.
No, the bottom right of the picture.
Yeah,
the plus button.
There we go. There we go. So that sign right there. Look at that face of excitement. Show me your dick, is what the fan says. Now, who exactly is this guy talking to and asking to show their dick?
Show the second guy. That's probably who he's talking to. The guy that's on the float. It's obvious that he's talking to this guy right here.
Gotta be this guy. Oh,
definitely.
Yeah. Definitely this guy, because he's watching. He's like, hey.
I'm assuming gender there, but
wait. Go back. Zoom down to the bottom right. Is that a Buffalo Bills
that is
cooler? I knew it.
What are you gonna say about that?
The majority of them are gay. As a Jets fan, as a report to camp, there you go.
You know what I would say about Buffalo Bills fans? This is what I'll say. If you accepted the jab just to go watch a football game, you're not part of the solution. I'm sorry. I love you still, but you fucked a lot of us up.
Was the guy with the fan actually sending his request? Not to him. I don't think he was talking to him. I think he was talking to the other guy. Because there's one more. There's one more guy.
The third picture?
The third one. I think he was saying, and he looked like he's saying, yes.
Yes, we can.
All right. Hate over hustle. hate, or yeah, that is our leader, where we have rampant crime, and the guy behind him look like he's ready, shirt wide open, taco meat showing, right? Like, if you are a gay male, do what you need to do, right? Fine, whatever. But this right here, I mean, is that that's one of your colleagues behind him with the Houston Rockets jersey? That's gay, with a Buffalo Bills hat. That's like wearing Adidas and freaking Feli, or Adidas and Nike, mix and match. That's also gay. What is up? What's up with the people who are running this city, Jose? Huh? Gay? Super gay. Super gay.
I had the conversation with our mayor.
Look at his biceps.
He looks like a bicyclist.
He does.
And I told him that the issue I had, like I can send you the picture of the one and only Pride parade that I went to, because what I witnessed during that Pride parade was a whole lot of sexuality, which is absolutely abundant in Rochester, which, again, that's your life. You want to live it that way, that's fine. And that was at a time when I was like, I'm about it. Let's go. Like, sexuality.
You about that gay life?
However you want to put it, I'm about it.
Let's go.
Look at Austin. Look at the stain that he's about to give me. Oh my. But I was not judging people based on like their sexual preferences at all. But the next year, over that year, I came to, I should say over a couple of years, I came to an agreement with myself that if I'm going to represent a certain mentality, which is choosing to be more godly, then I have to make the decisions to be more godly. And while I continue to falter and I continue to fall short of the glory of God, as all sinners do, I have not been to another Pride festival because of that exact reason. Now, that's not judgment on anyone who chooses to be, legitimate qua. I'm not judging you by any means. I'm just stating from my own life, it doesn't align. And from what I saw at that parade, it certainly didn't align with what I state my values are. And I want to be someone who, not only is a leader vocally, but in actuality. And again, we all know we all fall short, right? We all sin. We all do things wrong. And I'm certainly one of them. But I continually try to improve upon myself. And the next year, I put that actually, did I put it on TikTok? I asked God, I told God that I had a conversation with my God that Austin does not pray to, that I wanted to be an absolute beast. I said, I want to be in 2024, the kind of guy that pisses liberals off to the point where they think about me before they go to sleep. And when they wake up from their sleep, they're going to think about me. I want to absolutely be on their mind at all times, because I'm going to be so overt, so in their face about things that they understand that the reason why Rochester is the way it is because how disgusting we've gotten in the city and how we have chosen to be not on the level of godliness and not on the level of morality at all by any stretch of imagination, but also physically choosing leaders who are on the level of perverse, disgustingness, immorality, and just pure, I don't want to say evil, but where it leads to is what you would consider evil. Because God is all about freedom. You have ultimate freedom to decide for yourself who you want to be with, how you want to act, how many children you want to have, how many children you don't want to have, if you want to destroy your child that's in your womb. However you want to live your life, God has given you the freedom to do that. That is the ultimate idea of the Bible is that God gave you the freedom to be who you want to be. It's up to you to decide who you want to be.
With consequences, though.
Absolutely, with consequences. I'm not saying that there's no consequences. Yeah. And at this point, I've decided myself that I need to live up to that expectation of what I believe my God wants me to believe, what my God has chosen me to believe and be. And so therefore, I must not partake in those types of events. I must not show up to those kind of things. Because if it were up to me, I'd be in Macho Man Randy Savage, freaking blinged out in my underwear, flying around on a freaking float. Trust me, I want to show off my sexuality as much as anyone else. But the choice has been made. I shall, for me and my house, I shall serve the Lord. And whether or not I live up to that expectation is up to me every single day.
When you talked about your values, right? Like you have a set of values that is centered around, okay, you start with your religion, but then it goes, with your family and, of course, your wife and, your kids. Do you see, like, within just, all right, our mayor and the other folks that are openly okay with at that parade, what are their values? Do they have a set of values other than their own sexuality and what they do with your sexuality should not define who you are?
Well, your values are either internal or external.
So do they have any?
Their values are as far as their nose is. That's where their values end. Like they say that they're for other people, but as soon as you get a conservative person, a conservative black person in front of them, they'll be yelling in your face, spitting at you, calling you every freaking name in the book. You put a conservative Puerto Rican in front of them, they'll do the exact same thing. Mm-hmm. Because they believe that their life and their decisions are right here. Unless it's your decisions, then it's everybody else who's affected. Right. So their decisions based on their morality, their sexuality ends in their house, in their pants, let's just say.
So you're saying they don't have values?
No, there's values.
But what can you give me? Do you know of any possible
their value? Their value is to be it boils down to selfishness. Because trust me, I'm the same way. I'm a very sexual man. I think that as a Puerto Rican, it might be inherent in the Latino heat that's inside of my blood.
You fucking possessive ass men.
No, I'm not possessive.
Oh no, I'm not possessive. Puerto Ricans.
No. There are, yes, absolutely. Not me. But inherently, we are lovers, right? We are lovers of, and we tend to have like multiple lovers with multiple baby mamas, multiple children with multiple baby mamas. Like that's the generation curse when it comes to Latinos. That's a very that's a very selfish act to be someone who does not control your sexuality, does not control your sexual urges, so I say. So everyone has sexual urges, and it goes down to the minor attracted persons, right? If you are attracted to minors, you have allowed yourself, like they said in the movie, you've allowed yourself an open. No, they actually didn't say in the movie. It was Jordan Peterson that talked about the movie. You allowed the door to be open to allow that kind of immorality to enter your bedroom, to then give you the opportunity to where you have made small decisions over your past, however many long it took,
right?
How many years it took, how many days it took. You've made small decisions to get to the point where you've allowed the most heinous act,
right,
in your life to ever be had. You've allowed it, but you didn't wake up and become a minor attracted person. Like you didn't wake up and say, "Ooh, that little 6-year-old over there is, something sexual to me." No. You graduated to that point. And when it actually was said to Cain in the Bible, the beast of sexual immorality is knocking at your door, coming in to have its way with you, something along those words. And when you open that door of sexual immorality, it's going to have its way with you. You're then going to go down the road of a lot more things are bound to happen. And I've been down that road of allowing sexual immorality into my life. It's not the best version of Jose Pio, and I've learned that many times over.
But when we like, I'm more interested to hear though, like what their values are outside of their sexuality. Once
You're talking about legitimate equality in general.
Yes, in general, right? And the reason for this pride parade and just being proud of who you are, like being proud of something.
Right. Pride comes before the fall, though.
Right. So after that, once you are given that, which no one is taking that right away from them to be.
No, I said give it to them.
Yeah, no, but no one's taking that right from them to be sexually active in that way, to where they're only, they're choosing to have sex with the same sex, right?
Mm-hmm.
After that, right, if you want respect from just an overall society, there has to be.
I don't think that's what they're asking for.
That's what they're all being proud about, and they're fighting for that right. They're parading for that right, or the awareness.
They're not asking for respect. I think they're asking for acceptance.
Well, even so, again,
more than acceptance. It's tolerance.
Okay, tolerance, acceptance, those things. Okay, once you have that, what are your values? What's next? Right? What is next? What makes you who you are? What makes you believe in what you believe in? And what do you want outside of being like, no one's stopping you from doing what you want to do behind closed doors.
But that comes back to human nature. It's like once you win the Super Bowl, what's next? Right? You want to go bigger, better, larger.
Right. So is the next phase where you got guys rocking a fan saying, "Show me your dick." You want to bring more people into the fold. You want to increase that population. You want to make more people become what you are because you believe that's. I just want, again, I'm trying to figure out what.
I don't want to speak for them.
What they value. I'm not speaking from anyway. I'm just saying, I'm trying to figure out what the values are as a heterosexual male,
mm-hmm.
right? My preference in my sexuality, it kind of aligns with traditional values of, within just procreation, right? Creating,
or the ability to procreate.
The ability to procreate,
right?
And then outside of that, the values is okay. Once you create, your values as an individual are based around your family and you protecting your family as a man, right? So within just that, the Pride Festival, the Pride Parade, people who are prideful,
month 2 months,
fuck, overkill. All right.
Acceptance.
What's next? What do you want after that?
Again, I don't think there is a want after that, because it has become to the point where we had June as Pride Month, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now we have July as Pride Month. And the they them who runs our freaking military or whatever the hell, no, our health person, whatever the hell they them is, they're saying that they want the entire summer to be legitimate equality month, Pride Month.
Damn.
So it becomes, at that point, I think it's more of as a group as opposed to individual. I think what you're asking for is more of the individual part. I think every individual person has to ask themselves, where does it go after that? Because we have a lot of conservative, legitimate equality in our city who are just like, I just want to be me. I don't need to freaking put it out there like that. The pictures that we show are obviously the far extreme of what's out there. It's
we didn't show the little girl that was.
We didn't show much of it. We didn't show much of it.
I mean, you had, and again, that's why I was saying, if their overall goal and agenda is to increase the population,
I don't believe that's their goal.
So they have to stand for something other than
why?
Respect.
Do you stand for something other than as a heterosexual man?
Yes. First of all, I'm a father, right?
Uh-huh.
So that I did first that.
So are you asking for other people to become fathers?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Right.
But you don't see Father's Day parades. There's a Father's Day, there's a Mother's Day, right? So I'm not asking anybody to accept my right to be a father, which we could literally do something like that, because fathers today are definitely getting stepped on by society, but that's a whole nother story. But just for within them, it's like, all right, what the fuck is next? What's next? At this point in our history as a country, we know that if you say anything that will offend a guy who's waving at fans that says, show me your dick, right? Like this guy can wave this fan.
It could be a girl.
No, there's no way.
Could be.
That why would a
girl say show me your dick?
Say show me your dick?
It could be a trans.
Oh, fucking who cares? Whatever the reason for this right here.
I like the shirt though.
Yeah, it's just so much going on in this photo right here.
There's a lot. But did you see how many people were out?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get to.
It looked like 3/4 of Rochester.
Yeah, what's the end game? All right, now you have your acceptance. You have
No. They don't want acceptance. We're gonna say Austin.
So I think that we've reached a point where people who are fighting for these causes and things have passed the point of reasonable discourse. Whereas before in like the civil rights movement and things like that,
civil communist movement is what I call it, but continue.
I don't know how much reasonable opposition there can be to like equality between races and things
when it's
like that.
Obviously that's where it is at this point.
And so now that we've reached that point, people they keep going because there's always something to rebel against. Otherwise,
right. There's always a fight.
Right. That's what was the movie in like the 60s, Rebel Without a Cause. Where you reach that James Dean. Anyway,
sure.
Even when there isn't something important to fight for, there's something in young people that wants to fight against something
inherently.
And so I think we've reached the point where where the fight isn't as reasonable as it once was, where it used to be you can the civil rights movement, there was a very clear, reasonable thing.
Right.
Like, okay, equality between races. Now we've reached the point with like trans rights and like trans in sports, where there is reasonable opposition to these activist rights.
Right.
And I'll be interested to see how all of this plays out now that there is reasonable opposition to, because
as a liberal, you're saying there's reasonable opposition.
Progressivism as a rule tends to win out. Like if you compare America to what it was in the 1776 to now,
right.
We have progressed. However, we have now reached a point where progressivism has moved past reason, which is where you get into the realm of zealotry.
That'd be like the 1990s. At that point, we reached that peak, and then it's like we have this glorious time.
So I've always said, like, I am a liberal.
That's all you gotta say.
I'm the most liberal person in 1996.
Isn't that when you were born?
I was born in 1992. But like my politics line up with like 1990s Democrats.
He's so drunk.
However,
classic liberal.
He's so drunk.
Excuse me.
Continue.
I think I'm being very eloquent.
Thank you. Trying hard as fuck.
However, I feel like the political line has moved past.
The goalposts have moved.
Yes.
Any reasoning?
Right. Because when you have a society that has become soft, there has to be a fight. There must be a fight at some point to make it some way, and then it turns guys, for the most part, guys, it turns them hard because that's not wrong.
Gay.
It hardens the hearts of many men because at that point,
guys hard. Continue.
Yeah.
Yes. Show me your dick.
You're right. I was gonna say. I wasn't gonna say. I was gonna point at that. It creates hardened men because now that there's nothing to fight for, you must create a reason to fight, and therefore, you've created a system in which somebody is at fault and somebody is hurting because of the system. And so they're reaching at this point. And to me, it seems as if it's reaching. Like to be able to say that you can put on a wig and state that you identify as a woman, so therefore you should be able to go into a woman's locker room and not only watch them undress, but also undress in front of them, and then on top of that, compete against them. That's insane.
I would literally go in there just like this.
Because all you gotta do is I say you identify,
and then it'd be like, hey, leave it up to them. They'll come at me on their own.
There's not enough of them. There's not enough of them.
Honestly, it goes back to what we have going on in society, all of these different conflicts.
It's mentally, though. It's mentally, because there's so many people who are not okay with this, who are not willing to speak up.
Where do you think it comes from, though? Do you really think it comes from like a grassroots organized, a group of organized gays that feel as though that like they were able to speak to the right media personnel, the right politician, the right whoever to convince them and say, you know what? I wanted to go to my boyfriend's house yesterday. This is a gay guy.
Yeah, thank you.
And I wasn't allowed to get in because his apartment would not allow me to have sex with him in his own bedroom. How many situations do you think has that ever happened?
So I think what you're pointing out is like the idea of like systemic oppression versus individualized oppression.
It's the same with again that I have problem within just the black community, right? A lot of folks within the black community are pointing to racist situations, right? And just trying to paint every black person, right? And trying to paint the whole society as with that same brush of that's how it is for everybody.
But they won't paint themselves with that same brush.
No, they won't. Never. Because you can never say, white people are pieces of shit and be racist, right?
Right. So it comes down to the original OG guy from the Bible who stood up against oppression. And that was Moses. Moses in Exodus was the original gangster who stood up against the Egyptians and said, you're not going to beat my fellow Hebrew people like that. And he ended up killing a guy.
Yeah, allegedly that happened, but
it goes back
within that argument.
Hold on. And one of the greatest things about Moses is that when you read who his actual original parents are, and I'm getting this from Jordan Peterson.
It's the Ashkenazi Jews,
the
Zionists. It all ties back.
It says a man from this tribe and a woman from this tribe had a son, and his name was Moses. That states in clear language that a regular ass guy came from a regular ass family, and he chose to stand up for what's right.
Yeah.
He chose to do what's right. And that's the problem today, is that there's not enough men out there, regular ass men, who choose to do what's right in face of all opposition.
Well, maybe they are out there, but maybe they also got the same treatment that Moses received within that story. His own people wanted to stone him for bringing them the truth.
But the same thing happened to Jesus. Jesus said that he could not perform the same miracles in his hometown.
Did it? Though?
Because his own people would not accept it.
Jesus. What was his last name?
Y'all need to read your Bible. Y'all need to read your Bible.
You can see Austin's face.
I read it. I wasn't impressed.
Okay. The most impressive book that's lasted the most amount of freaking time ever. Not impressed. Okay. That's cool. Mediocre at best.
Good book is an exaggeration.
Good Lord.
Good book is an exaggeration. Holy shit. Oh, man.
Forgive them, Father, for they have sinned.
The King James version.
They know not what they do.
Listen, he wrote the Bible was part 2 before his Satan.
But hold on. Hold on. It still comes back. Hold on. Before you talk any kind of shit. It still comes back to regular men born of regular families being able to do extraordinary things because they chose to stand up for what was right. You can't say shit about that in terms of your beliefs in the Bible or your non-belief in the Bible. You can't say anything about that because in every story, when it comes down to a someone who decides at some point to stand up against tyranny, to stand up against what's wrong, and to see a normal person doing that as opposed to an X-Men or a freaking Marvel comic book hero, to see a normal human being stand up against the nonsense. That's huge. And I think that's what we're missing in the society today, is for a normal man to stand up against the tyranny, to stand up against the nonsense, and sit there and say with a clear conscience, I'm not okay with this, and I'm not going to stand for it.
Well, so what you're describing, though, is the hero's journey in like fiction. The idea of like
fiction?
Yeah, absolutely.
How is that not real life then?
Well, so I think what you're describing is like stories.
Well, let's talk about a hero. Okay, let's go back to a hero in real life then.
The idea
what would be a hero? What would be a hero in real life? What would be a hero story in real life? Because America showed up to defend the Jewish people during the Holocaust, and we didn't need to do that. We had no reason to be over there. But guess what we did? We stood up for what was right.
But that's a like an army, like a widespread group. That's not an individual.
Okay, go back to an individual. Hero. Find a story that is about an individual who stood up and said, this is not right, and then claim that that's not a good story. I don't understand a hero story.
Well, so it doesn't necessarily have to be fiction, but typically
it's not.
What you're describing is the hero's journey in fiction, and that's actually a problem with like modern Hollywood and stuff, is that they don't follow that.
Fine, bring it back to the regular day then.
Yeah. Well, I'm about to.
Go ahead. Go a little faster.
So I think typically the hero's journey is a normal person standing up against like insurmountable odds,
right?
And prevailing. That's
right.
That's the structure of a typical story.
So name us a hero in modern day who didn't do that.
So I think like modern Hollywood doesn't do that. I think what they do.
We're not talking about Hollywood. We're talking about modern day normal heroes.
Well, I'm talking about stories in general.
No, you can't say that is a story, that is a biblical story. So that means it doesn't really mean anything because it's not really history. And then come back to natural everyday.
I think the point that's all trying to
make. Right, I know.
Yeah,
but the normal everyday
are like comparable to Hollywood. And
no, they're not.
No, I am. Absolutely.
Are you trying to tell me?
No, I'm talking about stories.
That a story of someone getting beat up. A story of someone getting beat up, and someone says, "No, you can't do that."
Yep.
Okay, Rocky. So then, let's talk about the guy.
Yes.
Yeah, no,
right. Yes.
What about the guy in the subway in New York City, the Marine that stood up against the guy
Bernie
that said,
Getz? Wait,
yes, he's not. He wasn't the hero. He's no longer. He's the villain.
No. They made him out to be the villain.
Yeah,
villain.
but that's totally different.
Was he the hero? Yes or no?
No. Yes, he was a hero.
Okay,
but
why? Why was he the hero?
Because he was stopping an evildoer, right? That from doing something. But just to what Austin said, right? And this goes to
against all odds.
Yeah, but what Austin he made a very good point with the story of Rocky, right?
That's Hollywood again.
Yes, but that's the point he's making.
What I'm saying is, tell me a story of tell me a story of real life that does not equate to something like that. Where a man stands up or a woman stands up against unsurmountable odds.
George Floyd story.
What I'm saying is that real life
that's not a hero story.
Yes, it was. George Floyd, who was literally has a rap sheet longer than anybody.
Okay.
This guy was like the Joker of Minneapolis, right? Putting guns to the bellies of pregnant women, and then this one day, a police
that's not
officer,
insurmountable odds,
right? But again, if it depends on who's telling the story,
no,
who's ever telling the story, right? At that time when it comes out,
anybody with a regular brain would say that's not insurmountable freaking odds,
bro.
The guy was there; he didn't have a weapon, he didn't fight back. Other than fighting actually back physically.
Malcolm X, right?
Okay.
Malcolm X.
All right.
His story.
Let's go with that.
At that time, during that time, he was literally telling it like now all of a sudden everybody's like, yo, Malcolm X is the man. Like they want more of Malcolm
So he's
X
a hero.
Today. Yeah, he's a hero today.
Against insurmountable odds.
Today, but back then he was the villain. He was the white.
No. He was not the villain. He was a villain to who?
Yeah, the people who's writing the story, telling a story.
That's not the same thing.
Yes, it is. Who's ever telling the story is the one who dictates who the hero is.
Is that what you're trying to say with the Bible?
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, so going back to Rocky himself said he was inspired by the Bible, and that's why he wrote the movie, and that's why he's the hero that he's. There is something to what Austin is saying within that.
Not much
nowadays,
if I was allowed to finish, it would be,
no,
sure.
you won't. No,
the heroes are kind of like the villains, and this is what
that's a problem, though.
Yes, exactly. So the point I'm getting to, let me
just say it for you.
Well, this is where it goes back to the people that's trying to make this one world government, right? They are kind of they're kind of putting the villains on the pedestal, making them the ones who are the good guys, and the bad guys are the ones that are getting vilified. So the reason why
every single one of them, the Joker in the Batman movie has been lifted up to be
now all of a sudden there is a sentimental feeling towards the Joker. So this is the problem
for a reason.
Yes, for a reason. So now within just the argument of Marxism, capitalism, and all these different struggles that we have socially, to go further and push this conversation further to where this is the reason why we have this show, for politically correcting and have people be aware of what's going on around them.
Besides the Zionist thing.
Well, no, fuck that. But within just what we talk about, weekly on this show, to try and make folks aware of what's going on.
And to have the discussions around it.
Yes.
And not be afraid of.
Unfortunately for Austin, the one counter to communism is faith, religion, and just everything that comes.
Freedom.
Yes, but your spirituality is what will dismantle and conquer,
because it's based on God-given freedom.
Yes, and so the devil,
God-given,
why we see a whole lot of Satanism today and all this push to
a lot of it right there,
for the anti-Christ or anti-Christian movement. It's the reason why we're closer to communism than any other time in our history. So, to your point, and even though I poke fun at it and just try and
strengthen it,
pull more out of the Jesus argument, I do think that there needs to be more of a connection to our religion so that we can kind of see who the heroes are, like Moses and like Jesus.
You can if you look hard enough.
Yeah, but they don't want to. They don't want to.
Who doesn't want to? You don't want to.
No.
If you look hard enough, you'll find the wrong in the world. I respect
the stories and just the
story,
the messages that comes within the Bible. Where I use Moses as an example, right? Because anytime we speak out, right, and we say stuff, and it could be the truth, right? The folks are going to come with the stones. They don't want to hear it.
They want their own Baal freaking cow.
So to say that we're not in a spiritual war, and I know Austin doesn't believe in that part, but
it's fine.
It makes it, I think, there's a huge population like Austin that doesn't believe in that. Huge population. Huge. No, there is. There's a lot of folks.
I think it's a very small population.
Bullshit. And but I do think with, like, for me, spirituality and just being spiritual, that is real. That is a real thing, and they are attacking it. They know that we have that ability to kind of connect to a higher power,
right,
bigger than ourselves.
And the Bible said that thousands of years ago.
Yeah, I'm not
just saying.
I'm not going to poo-poo on it. I do think that
you wouldn't dare.
No, but I do think that there is a need and there is a spiritual war. Just like your pop said, there is a spiritual war right now.
Absolutely. It's not against man. It's not against man. We're not fighting against flesh and blood. We're fighting against the evilness that's within them.
Yeah.
Because themselves, they don't mean it.
Yeah, and China is not. The Chinese people are not in the control. It's who's financing China. It's who is the Chinese central bank? I'm pretty sure they have a central bank.
No, it's the government. They have their own money. They don't allow you to take any other money, but they do have a free market.
Government themselves, they're getting money from somewhere else. They're not
They're getting it from us because they own our land. They own our property. We're paying rent to them.
And where we get our money from?
Let's not go into that.
Oh, all right.
We do need to end this because I gotta use the bathroom. Not gonna lie. There's a lot to think about. I think that you're absolutely right that there's a spiritual war, and I hope that people are praying because it requires a certain level of testicular fortitude as a man, and it requires a strong woman usually behind that man to push them forward to be the man that they need to be to protect those who need protecting. And there's a lot of people in the city, because I'm always about bringing it back to local, because if you can't freaking stand up for your own street, for your own neighborhood, for your own city, then don't dare talk about standing up for your own country. So I appreciate everybody out there. I appreciate you listening to our, again, over 2 hours long podcast for no reason, because we could have definitely ended it 45 minutes ago, but Austin had to jump on board. But I appreciate you guys, and death to the Chinese Communist Party. Austin, hit that funky music.
Well, what
Oh,
you
hold
have
on.
to
He is mad
fucked
slow.
up.
No,
I'm about to
see what happened was.
You know what? I'm out.
rolling her eyes.